Sorry, I didn't count down. And we're live. I was so focused on hitting the transition.
No pressure. This is just the most important thing you've done all year. Hey, what's up, SPL
Oh my
fandom?
god.
I'm AJS0, and I'm sadly joined here by first-time streamer Mitchell Elcat Dalkey.
I just needed to be able to do it once and click the buttons. I've got it. Probably. It's probably not going to get scuffed again. Honestly, I just want a hotkey to turn the audio on and off. But either way, we're getting into the draft.
Yeah, this will hopefully be a pretty solid stream here, as we've got a first-time streamer, and this is my flu game. Yep. So between our powers combined, I think we're still going to be fine here, because I think once these games get going, it's going to be really exciting. I think this is going to be a super, 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 super exciting finals, unless one of these teams shits the bed.
I
you
think
can never rule out.
You can't, but I do legitimately think this is going to be one of the best finals that we've had in quite a while. We see the Mordekaiser and the Urgot bands coming out, really respecting
this
Brandon.
Is kind of in my scouting out here. To me, the matchup to watch in this series is Dario versus Dan. Dan, no one's going to remember this because his team won, but really had a rough semifinals last week. Thunder really was kind of running through him in that lane. And to me, that's going to be the story of this series. Obviously, Wormbound Crusaders had the team fighting of a dying animal, but Briar's feat Juri are actually pretty good in macro and mid and late game decision making. And if they can accrue those advantages, they're not going to just throw those leads away.
No.
So
they have the brains. They have Thrifty Senpai on the team. They have the thought process that actually goes into things, and I don't think they're going to get away so easily.
Yes, and
we see the Nocturne being allowed through. No ban on the red side for the Nocturne. They have to be ready for it. What do you? I have no idea what they. What? Interesting.
It's a best of 5. You got to let it through. I think the Nocturne, it's become such a boogeyman this season that it's hard for me to imagine it's actually going to be as impactful as it's been talked about. But before I can even finish the sentence here, I was curious if that meant that this team was going to full send in. It looks like they are. Nocturne, Twisted Fate coming through for the feature here, and this is going to be an exciting combo to watch. Obviously, this is this combo of champions is 12 years running at this point. It's the insane pressure everywhere on the map. If you overextend in either of the side lanes, you're going to get ganked.
Yeah, they look like they were really ready for this. We see the Ash Milio taking up the bot lane for BDE. And the Taric ban in the first round almost makes me think that maybe they want to focus on really being able to win through the lane that they arguably should be the strongest in, and let Respect and Tree kind of get them where they need to be. But if that means giving Nocturne over to Wang and giving TF over to presumably Thrifty Senpai, that's I'm so curious how that's going to end up working out for them.
It's a best of 5. If the Nocturne ban if leaving Nocturne open was the wrong call, you have a whole series here.
True.
Guys, stop looking at Twitch chat. People keep coming at me with their stupid questions. Another ban, though, I do want to focus on, though. I do love this Taric ban targeting Chai. I've been thinking all season long that teams haven't targeted him aggressively enough. I do think he is significantly better on the Taric than any other champion, and I've always been a really huge believer that if you can target ban the weakest player's one champion, you should do that basically every game.
And it looks like that's what they're doing with their last ban, coming in on the Nautilus, really trying to lock down the champs that CRJ Superfan has shown his expertise in.
Really like that Nautilus ban as well, because that would be the best pick here with the TF Nocturne, is another point-click all-to-long CC chaining that would basically guarantee if Respect oversteps, he's going to fucking die.
Absolutely. And another ban towards Dario Chopman in the top lane, not giving him the chop. Maybe Alawi we see out of him. I know he's played that to really good effect. And they pick the Alawi away from him. That's the Dan on the Alawi.
Well,
that I didn't see that coming. Not gonna lie.
I've thought about this a lot in the past week as I've been kind of mentally preparing for this finals and how much Dan is the worst player that we've spent the most time talking about.
Yeah.
Because he plays the game so wildly different than everybody else that it's hard not to analyze the game from that perspective. But I actually kind of realized, and I'm surprised I never thought of this earlier, this team, Big Dirk Energy, is actually the first team in a long time that really reminds me of some of the old, like, prime SBL teams. Like, when we first became a 6-team league, there were a handful of players that were really good, and they did not play the game very standard. And it resulted in these teams with these really weird play styles, whether it was like a split pushing top laner. We had a mid lane Tryndamere one trick in the league at one point. And these teams would just be so different than the quote unquote standard teams that, like, my teams would kind of typically be. And I don't mean that like is a good thing or a bad thing. It's just like I tried to make my teams play the same way. And this is really the first team in the comeback where I feel like they have had such a dramatically different play style. And it's easy to point out the things that are bad about it. But at the end of the day, they win a hell of a lot more games than they lose. They are all confident and comfortable enough playing that way. And I'm excited to see what the hell it's going to be in another best of 5 year.
Is this the first time we've seen Swain in the mid lane this season? I'm pretty sure. I don't have stats up in front of me.
I'm not positive. Yeah, SBL stats, get on that one for us.
I'm almost positive that it is. I'm looking. We got plenty of time. We have so much time.
The 3-minute delay here.
All right. Where's that spreadsheet?
Does it have champions in it?
Player picks and stats. I thought, yeah, champ data. Let's see.
Well, while Mitch is looking that one up, I can tell y'all, the viewers, about the prior matchups between these two teams. Obviously, it's a triple round robin in the regular season. Big Dirk Energy, the low seed here, they did win the first matchup of the season, which came in week 2, but BFJ won the second and third matchups, including a very, very decisive win that secured them the 1 seed in week 5. Thrifty and Dario going to combine to 17-0 that game. So we'll see if that means anything. The other 2 games were both fairly close. Dario has been a menace in all 3 of these games. So again, like I was talking about earlier, I do think that's kind of the player to watch. But otherwise, a lot of the comfort picks here, half the picks are kind of the things we've been seeing all season long, and then some very exciting champs to play around in those other spots.
So if the spreadsheet is right, Swain has been picked once, banned once, and whoever played it, which I haven't had a chance to go find, went 0, 8, and 12 on it.
Yeah, it sounds like a tree run it down game.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what Blab's going to be able to do on it. And really, this is kind of the story of what Blab has been doing this season, is not really playing. He had the one Vel'Koz game. He's had a couple of games with a little bit more carry, but he has had so many more games in the mid lane where he has focused on being that, playing the Zyra, playing the Galio, being that supportive kind of CC impactful, and not really the same role that Thrifty is playing on the other side of the rift from him. And likely what's going to end up with Swain. But we'll see.
We will see as we head into our loading screen here. I love that the countdown in the client is just not even like remotely relevant anymore. You just get a black load screen for 30 seconds whenever it feels like popping up.
Yeah.
Taking a peek at summoners here. All right. We got teleport on the SBL bad boy. That's usually the big thing I'm looking out for. He's obviously gone a lot of games without teleport this season.
By the way,
a lot of ghosts.
We're not hitting the plus button. We're just going to let it go. We don't want to break it. Milio's in the game. That was the bane of our existence last week. It could break again.
If Milio breaks this game again, we'll just assume Milio's broken and Stay on the champ the rest of the series.
There you go.
I'm gonna assume it was a one-time issue until it reoccurs.
I mean, probably. All right, and I am in. And am the first one responsible for bringing all this shit up. All right.
Remember, Control-Shift-Z and then 5 ticks of your mouse wheel. You get the perfect amount of zoom outs.
All right, we are zoomed out. I think we're good.
What are we looking like on time?
I am at 25, 26, 27.
We are completely in sync, which is perfect.
Perfect.
Because we do have the feat Juri going for a level 1 here. We will see, can they catch the bad boy with his pants? Oh, did the bad boy?
Ooh.
He must have saw there.
Oh, I don't know if he did. Oh, there he goes. He noticed it now.
By the way, you need to rearrange champs on the scoreboard.
You right.
All right, so there's going to just be some advanced warding going here. Big Dirk Energy, they're not going to trade for any advanced warding on the other side of the map. They've already blown a couple of their wards early here. So all in all, another uneventful level 1. Not too shocking. As we do potentially see both junglers starting on the top side of the map here, which is a little different than normal.
Yeah, so that's what it's looking like.
I do like that. I think for both of these junglers, I think this is a game that's going to be built around the bot lane. I think there's going to be a lot of ganks, 3-man, 4-man, 5-mans maybe going down to bot lane. And so I think it makes sense to just start pathing top to bot.
Agreed. And like we were saying earlier, like I was saying earlier at least, I really think BDE is going to want to play through Respect and Tree. They got them some bans. They got them the Ashe. I know Respect has been doing super well in the Ashe, even though he has played the MF earlier this season. I know he's been on record saying how much he likes the ult, how much he likes having that control, and Tree's a squirrely little fuck on Melio. So I think they need to be able to press whatever advantage, if they're able to get advantage. I think they need to be able to press it for the bot lane in order for this comp and to work.
Yeah, 100% here. Watch out. Tizzy's playing with... Oh, Tizzy, that's a huge mistake. They're just about to take level 2. Oh. Not quite as fucked as I thought she was going to be there. But another SPL bot laner not understanding that you can count the creeps till somebody hits level 2. Folks, if you're going to learn to play bot lane, this is like the first thing you got to know is just not to get level 2 rushed. That's
Tizzy is taking a lot of damage. That's a first blood. Oh, he doesn't get it.
Are you kidding me? She walks out. I was so positive.
Oh my god.
Summoners get blown in the bot lane. But this is now going to be a huge deficit for Tizzy to crawl out of. And even worse, where do we say the junglers are going to be ganking all lane? Well,
bot.
There's a fucking billboard on the freeway saying Summoners down, Wang 30, come on down to bot. And she's going to lose so much EXP here. She is still level 1. Oh my god. This is...
Yeah, that is probably about the worst possible start that you could imagine for Briar's featuring in the bot lane, and exactly what BDE wanted to start the game off with. They're playing... We're caster cursing them in the best possible way.
Well,
currently,
this is, like you said... BDE is going to want to play through Respect here. Obviously, when they win these games, it's usually Respect is carrying. It's with the other members of the team doing some playmaking, but it's usually just out-mechanicking his opponents, the entire enemy team in team fights. And so getting him up early and getting him snowballing is so important to how this team operates. And EFJ knows it. They have Nocturne TF. Nocturne TF is a comp you pick usually to gank bot with.
Yep. And I think they're ready to answer that, but, like I said, really good start for BDE there. Also, SPL Bad Boy, I mean, he's not already losing lane, which I take that as a wing. I spoke too soon. See, the caster curse. Good flash.
Needed
flash.
To blow that. So Wang's going to spend a little more time up here, clear out a tentacle, take a little damage. And now the big thing to watch for here, this is a freezable lane in bot lane, and we know both junglers are on top, so this could be a chance for Respect and Tree to snowball a bit.
Thrifty Senpai winning the back and forth trading in the mid lane quite a bit here. Renai taking a lot of poke. Respect going down, trying to position himself, but not doing a whole lot of anything. Chai a little bit up in XP, level 4 as opposed to the level 3 of Tree and Respect.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies around the Void Grubs right now, as Tizzy and Chai are in a really rough spot here. This lane is frozen, and Chai is roaming, but we may not have a chance to talk on that because we are getting a 3v3 here in the pit, and the bad boy is going to be the first to fall. Flash out from 30. This should be Grub secured. Chai is in the neighborhood just in case this continues. But great collapse there from Briars.
He just looked completely out of sorts. Blab tried to move up to be able to support him, but he was at less than half health, less than half mana. 30 was almost in position, but I think just saying top die there, giving up the grubs is unfortunately the best that you can make of that bad situation. Yeah,
absolutely. So, and Tizzy not going to fall too far behind here. It's not going to be frozen on the other side, so Chai's going to roam before this wave crashes, and Tizzy, very fortunate. I think Respect and Tree have misplayed some of the advantage in bot lane, although they still do have a lot of kill pressure as this wave's going forward.
Yeah, kill pressure is CS advantage, but for somebody who almost died and had to back at level 1 to be equal in level and down, it's still a formidable amount of CS, but it's not catastrophic. I think they also made the best out of the bad situation they found themselves in.
MF players, I want to give you some free advice here. Stop using your E on the creep wave. Just for the love of God, stop using your E on the creep wave. It just randomly does tick damage that makes it so that you can't last on our tower properly. It will push the wave away from you in situations where you want it to push towards you. It's basically always the wrong call to try to secure a last hit with that E because of the way it affects the lane state. And it's
Tree
something
waiting
very
for Thrifty. No. Too smart.
This should be very secure. Wang, he's happy to give this one up. He wants to go power farm to 6. This team doesn't really want to be making any more plays, unless something dumb happens. They want Wang and Thrifty to both get to level 6, and that's when you start trying to force things down the enemy team.
Yep, and Thrifty is already ding 7. Wang is getting close himself. They're just kind of setting up for what they want. They have a nice little 1.4k gold lead.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I'd have to have watched bot lane more carefully to know for sure, but notice how Thrifty is like 3 waves up on Respect. I think Respect has maybe just been CSing badly this game because I think he should just be up way more than he has been. Man, I just can't stop talking about bot lane this game.
I mean, it's where the focus is. Dario Chapman getting slapped around a little bit though. SPL Bad Boy with some good trading damage going on to him.
Wang's sitting here, he's got the ult, and there's no mana, no flash on the SPL Bad Boy. There it is. You're going to see every one of these E's now that I complain about it. Tizzy wanted a new alarm. That's what you can clip. Maybe if you wake up to this every day for a few months, you'll stop fucking laning like a monkey. So otherwise, a lot of nonsense going on here. Those all equate to just over 1,000 gold, about 1,200 gold in favor of the feat Juri, but obviously they're up the Void Grub, down the Dragon.
Yep.
All fairly non-consequential.
Pretty even as far as things are concerned. I think if BDE wants to win, they need to start falling behind a little bit and then just hold on until like 29 minutes because if they get ahead, I don't know that they know what to do with that.
Yeah, and I don't know what Respect saw there.
I'm not sure either.
Ghost is obviously a much shorter cooldown than Flash, but
Thrifty roaming to the bot.
Yeah, Wang's there as well. These guys are in ult range, and this is the really obvious play here.
Yep.
Chai can wait for the globals to go in. Let the globals lead the way. We do have 30 up in the top lane. It looks like BFJ doesn't like the setup here.
Yeah, BFJ pinging 30 out on there. He's not going to be able to make much onto the Garen. They do see the TF, but I mean, seeing the TF and stopping him are two completely different things. SPL Bad Boy only down 10 CS though. Probably one of the best he's done. 30 coming in on a Thrifty Senpai though. The bear is coming in and Thrifty is ghosting and running and he is going to get out of there. Not too much to be said there, just kind of spooking him off. They did force the ghost out of the TF, Probably not the biggest deal, but you take what you can get.
Yeah,
A lot of turret and trade damage coming back onto him.
And he seems to think he's got a chance to kill here because it's going to force the bad boy to flash out. Now Chapman also flashing out.
30's on his way.
30 has a flash. They could look to dive, but there are a lot of other bodies coming up on this side of the map. But this could turn into a scuffed fight for these grubs. There's a lot of low health and backing players. Chapman can teleport. Ash Arrow's coming from cross map here. Will it hit
There's the Nocturne ult going onto Dan. I couldn't even see who that was on. They're going to get the kill. CRJ Superfan, though, going to take the kill onto the bad boy. Wang chasing down 30, who's going to try and blast going over the wall. Thrifty Senpai is going to get that kill. Renai is going to be in here, but way too late. He's not going to be able to do enough. 2 flashes burned to secure that kill. He is not going to escape. 3 kills for nothing. Going to Briar's feet, Juri. They set up the situation where BDE wanted to collapse on them and then capitalized on it.
Yeah, an absolute just disaster of a skirmish there for Big Dirk Energy. I think it started with Bad Boy getting chunked out and not having a teleport in top lane. Dario was able to use that kind of 90% trade to his advantage because he was able to teleport back, give his team the kind of man advantage there, and then they were able to just play better skirmishing abilities. And now this is a pretty meaningful lead early here. Curious to see what this team will do to kind of snowball this with the 6 Void Grubs. But now I think the play here is you start camping one of these side lanes with Wang and Thrifty and try to just snowball this game down. As Dario is
bold. Very bold. But he hasn't been punished for it. And that's exactly how he likes to play these games, is just go in as deep as he possibly can, not give a shit, and then, eventually make a mistake, but get a lot of advantage while doing so. He's up.
And it can be such a weird mind game when if you're the bad boy, if you're against the Nocturne and you're like, oh, he's doing something stupid. The jungler must be hovering.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's just Dario chopping.
No, he's just doing him. And I want to talk real quick about it's something that everybody's well aware of, the impact of the Nocturne ult, but really, really, really paying dividends in that last skirmish, being able to ult in and scare everybody off of the objective. Wang, CRJ Superfan, Thrifty Senpai, and Tizzy all here by the Dragon, ready to contest it. BDE trying to kite it out into the bottom of River with support from Renai Circulation and 30 coming down from the top. They're going to meet them here, but there's damage coming out from Thrifty Senpai. The all coming in from the Nocturne, all coming out from Tizzy. She's not going to get enough, though, but I think that he is going to go down. He does. Wang is being answered by Resquek in the bottom. Resquek getting that shutdown. Big ol' Renai Circulation up here. Also a fight in the top lane between Dan and Dario Chapman. Resquek trying to get CRJ Superfan, who puts himself into Resquek's hands and dies. Dario Chapman's getting scared off. And ultimately a 3 for nothing, and Dragon going over to BDE. What just happened?
Man, just a disaster. They were too confident in TF's ability to zone the Volibear and Swain out of that fight, but it just ended with Swain stepping in the middle of 3 people and not being focus fired. So Blab just Swain shredded through the entirety of that team. Wang got really split from his team, so he got focused down at the same time, and then they were able to just take the freest mop-up of their life and skirmish their way back into this game here. Now only a 2K deficit, and they do have the 2 dragons, but you got to take the good with the bad, and the bad is the bad boy getting solo killed for his 3rd death of the game.
Yeah, that kind of tracks. Again, he's not catastrophically behind. He is behind. The two other deaths were in support of the team, but losing this top turret, 30 up here though, trying to get onto Dario Chapman, who's going to run away and just Garen his little fucking sword spinny ass out of here.
Yeah, you engage on him there, he's just going to go Lamau cringe and kill you.
What did I want to say about the last fight? Wanted to say something. Oh, correction. It was not 3 for nothing. It was 3 for 1. 30 did die earlier on in the engagement, but he was respawned by the time the fight was over. So, just correcting myself there.
You gotta own the mistake. No one would have noticed. Just like no one, a terrible teleport from Dan doesn't make it in time, and now this may cost 30 is like Wang is nearby. His ulting on cooldown, gonna jump in, get the fear onto the Volibear. Be afraid of my Wang. Don't be afraid of my Wang. Run away under your tower. You're just fine. Wang and Dario actually looked like they weren't on the same page there because Dario turned away right as Wang hit the ult. So I don't know if Wang was communicating that his ult was 2 seconds, 1 second from up there. unfortunate because that should have been a kill.
They looked like they had that, and really some unfortunate timing from BDE on the flip side of that too, with 30 burning his flash to try and meet a teleport that didn't come because the tower fell before anything could happen. And just kind of two bad bouts of communication. It does result in a tower for Briar's feet, Juri. They are still up over 4K gold. But it's one of those situations where we feel like they could have so much more than they currently do.
Yeah, well, maybe the Swain is something to be afraid of here. Is Thrifty. He's got some good footwork here, as he's actually doing a great job of playing around the range of the Swain here. Both of these guys playing with their full health bars. Now Swain ghosting himself out. Both players have flash available, and Thrifty's going to do it first. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Secures the kill, while Chopman going to come in and get his second in the bot lane.
Some really key outplays, decision-making, and map movement from everybody on BFJ in that last exchange. Thrifty Senpai with the fanciest feet, dodging so much of the Swain stuff and being able to answer with the flash yellow card. And then Dario Chapman just getting to the bottom unexpectedly, and Tizzy layering the ult on at the right time, and that's going to be a tower for them.
That's both of the side lane tier 1s, and now this game... You need to win this game if you're Briar's feet, Juri. You have the Nocturne TF, you have both of the side lanes. You can now pressure so easily into the enemy jungle, start just snuffing out their vision control, start denying them, the minor objectives. Maybe walking into Volley Bear here with no health. And now Renai, who saved his flash in the last fight, is going to get some good use out of it here. Wang getting chunked down, a nice thumb, but it's not going to be enough. Renai gets the kill. Gets out alive. Oh, why? Maybe spoke too soon. Didn't look at the mini map. Dario Chopman coming through to set up Tizzy.
Burn on the Thrifty Senpai, though. The ult is going to whiff.
Still with the footwork. Respect.
He gets them on the edge.
And Chopman's not done here. He says, bad boy, you're stuck in this game with me. 0-4-0 on the Alawi in what was ultimately an even trade.
Wow.
And that speaks to one other point I wanted to talk about a minute ago before Scuff City started up here. Bad Boy being behind on the Alawi is really huge because when you think of Alawi games going well, you think of that like champion where, she turns the 1v2 like a Mordekaiser can, where if she's even or especially if she's ahead, you just don't know what to do to stop her because it's so easy for her to
tower just going to drop
she's outnumbered.
Here? They're getting to him.
Yeah. You take that trade.
Yeah, that tower's gone. That's a tier 2. Respect and Tree trying to answer him. Tree trying to slow him down. He's going to get the slow. Respect. They say no. We can't get it. Dario gets a tower for free, and might also get a kill on Bad Boy here if he's able to get around behind him.
They just didn't have vision forward at all there. They were scared of Nocturne TF, and now they're not only going to not get the kill, but they're going to give one up here as Bad Boy's bad game continues here. Dario not able to get the kill there, but he does force the flash, and he's also buying his team so much pressure to go secure what should be a pretty free dragon.
Yeah, I mean, not getting the kill, getting the flash, but giving up literally nothing to do so. Just securing a tower and just being able to be a split pushing presence, and that's exactly what the comp from BFJ wants to do here, is let Dario Chapman exist on his own island, have the globals ready from the rest of the team, and the ult coming in from Respect, trying to snipe the Drake. He's not going to be able to do so. The ult coming out from Wang, though, back onto Respect. He's going to be fleeing. He's going to be feared. Ult coming from Tizzy laying on top of it. 30's down below, though. Wang is going to get the kill onto Respect. Tree's trying to run under his tower. He's going to get ulted by Dario Chapman. 30 getting the shutdown on to Tizzy, but they are just getting torn apart. The only thing going well for them there was the kill onto Tizzy, and yeah, it kind of looks like the wheels are falling off the wagon a little bit here. And by the wheels are falling off the wagon, I mean the axle's already broken. You've lost Oregon Trail, and you're just trying not to die of dysentery.
Yeah, we're crying at the club right now if you're Big Dirk Energy. This one is going to take a miracle to come back. Respect is nowhere near built enough to have one of those kind of huge comeback carry games. And with the Ashe, this isn't like the Kaisa where like you could just like really capitalize and pick up 4 kills in a fight when the enemy team screws up. You really need to be methodical to play Ashe. And it's very hard to make comebacks playing methodical. when you're this far behind.
Absolutely. It's not a scaling hyper carry. It's not something where he's ostensibly shouldn't be something where he's not just going to be able to dominate the rest of the game. Even if he does get a couple kills and get a little bit ahead, it's still something that needs to play around his team, and something that's susceptible to getting caught out by the TF and getting caught out by the Nocturne ult, because his only escapes are Ghost and Flash.
We'll see here what the next few minutes look like. I think we're going to see a slow moment here. There's some kind of staggered resets coming out of BFJ here before they will presumably probably just start pushing all three lanes here. You know, you'd expect either a 1-3-1 or maybe a 1-4 out of this team comp, and they could pretty easily set that up.
Dario going back top again, getting ready to push that wave. 30, trying to get his own farm up there, but man, there's just really nothing going in the favor of Big Dirk Energy right now. The only one positive on kills is Respect, but like we were just talking about, it's really likely not going to be enough. And Tree and 30, though, are going to try and find CRJ Superfan. Tizzy's ready with the damage back. CRJ Superfan's going to ult. Dario Chopman spinning to winning and gets the ult down. Renai Circulation tries to ult and get some health back. Ultimately, it's not going to make a difference. MyWayne coming back in on SBL Bad Boy, getting the ult. Not going to do anything. The ult from Tizzy is shredding everybody. Renai Circulation is dropping here, even with the ult up. He's going to get stunned. He is going to get out, but 3 of his teammates are dead and in the grave.
Oh, man. BFJ committing war crimes with those flanks. A beautiful setup. Big Dirk Energy thought they were confident taking that fight. Oh, it's just Chai and Tizzy. Those are the players we want to fight. Suddenly, Thrifty from the lower flank, Dario from the upper flank, everyone being executed from every angle. It's a bunch of kills. It's going to be a tier 3. It's going to be a Baron Nashor. And if you're Big Dirk Energy, you're not even talking about a comeback at this point.
No,
you're just starting to talk about what you want to draft for game 2.
Yep, this is a GG go next. Unless they make a catastrophic mistake. Oh my god, that was close. Unless they make a catastrophic mistake, the game is basically signed, sealed, delivered. They are up 11k gold. They have the Baron. They have absolutely everything they need to win this game. An inhib turret is already down. That was the first Dario Chopman death of the game. I just want to make sure and call that out. That one where he was sitting in base 1v3ing people for fun, that was the first time he died this game.
Yeah, and I mean, that shows the margins in some of these games he's had where he's been so close to having this game, but just a little worse off on the execution bites him, and he is absolutely on point today. Just really was kind of the first part of this game being a total takeover here, but really this whole team doing their job here.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody is doing exactly what they need to do. Tizzy and Chai are basically on ult duty in the middle of a team fight, and that's exactly what they're doing. Thrifty going to find Tree out here in no man's land. Tree is down 5 levels against the TF. He's just going to try and run. But 30 trying to ult in the middle, do what he can, but again, the layering of all of those ults on top of each other. Thrifty Senpai is going to get the kill, but as soon as they try and re-engage, an ult from MyWayne, giving them all that nearsightedness, they're not going to be able to see anything. SBL Bad Boy going to meet Tizzy for his demise. Renai Circulation trying to chase them down. A lot of damage going out of Tizzy. He's going to secure that kill. He's going to get Thrifty Senpai, and he bought them a little bit of time, but Dario Chopman on the bot lane here, getting the turret, getting the inhibitor. Respect going to try and answer him, but Dario Chopman says, absolutely, I can take this 2v1. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah,
well, he's going to be wrong.
You're wrong.
He's going to be wrong.
Is, nothing scarier than Cha Man with a lead, right?
True.
For both teams.
Not
a little
wrong.
bit of a clown fiesta, but still, all in all, a win for Briar's feature here. They completely blow the base open. They're going to get an inhibitor with 2 more exposed. They have to be careful playing around this dragon. They are going to be scouted out by the hawk shot here, and they actually have a lot of teammates kind of far away here. I think they should slow play this, and it looks like they are. Chopman, 22 seconds, but he has his teleport available. Honestly, if I'm Briar's feature, like, maybe you just go base race this one down a little.
I almost think you have to. I mean, you kind of have to swing for the fences here, given what you've got. They're choosing to contest the dragon, but Briar's feature, he says, okay, cool, we're going to go take your base. Have the dragon like we give a shit. They're going to try and secure this and get back. You see the TP coming from Dario Chapman on the top, going for that inhib. There's no way they can answer this.
Nope, that's going to be all 3 inhibitors down, and it gotta think this one is over. They have not lost a tower. Just an absolute shellacking by Briar's feet, Juri, here.
What a dominant game coming out game 1 here. I mean, it based on what we saw in the draft, we kind of expected this result. They got what they wanted in the TF Nocturne. They tried to ban stuff away from Dario Chapman, yet he's sitting here 6-2 and 4 on the Garen, and Tizzy and Chai just doing exactly what their team needs them to do, of being those supportive players who are capable of getting carried, putting their ults where they need to be, being where they need to be at the right time, and just kind of, letting Thrifty mind control them through the game.
Yeah, to be completely honest, Tizzy very fortunate that her team is carrying as well as they are. I actually think she's low-key had a pretty rough game.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. She's not dying, and she's baiting people into chasing her.
Yep.
And that's been enough.
It absolutely has. And she knows how to press the R button when Tim tells her to.
Yeah, and sometimes they tend to be champions with it. I've been very impressed as we see presumably the final fight of the game here as all 3 lanes on the verge of collapsing on this next Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to stun Thrifty. Don't think it's going to matter as Dario's forcing everyone away. But BFJ's fine just stalling time here. Crash 3 waves of supers onto those Nexus turrets and now start shredding through the red team. Big misfortune alt after I talk some shit. And this is going to be G squared here. Nearly everyone dead here as they're going to slow play it for KDA a little bit. Tizzy going to take out 30. Wang going to take out Dan. And a dominant game 1 victory here for the feat, Juri.
26 minutes and 56 seconds. One of the fastest, I believe the fastest game between these two teams so far this season.
That might be. That one hurt. But, that's League of Legends sometimes.
Just looking at the post game real quick. That damage from Thrifty Senpai on the Twisted Fate and Dario Chapman not far behind him. Yeah, I mean, the story of... And look at the damage. Tizzy sitting at 14.8k, Resquect sitting at 15.3. Resquect had a better score across the board, but Tizzy just really being able to, take advantage of how far ahead the team was. But the stats don't paint a pretty picture here.
No, so we'll see. Obviously, going to be some changes as we head into the draft for game 2. We're going to take a few minutes break for ourselves to catch our breath, let these teams finish collecting themselves. We'll be back in just a few minutes for game 2, so stay tuned.
See you guys then.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the SBL Championship. I am AJ0, still here with Elcad as we load you all in for Game 2 after that absolute shellacking in Game 1. Briar's feat Juri running train on Big Dirk Energy. And while we start with this draft to see what's going to be different here, I think we can talk about there's been some commentary between the two teams back and forth on our own Twitch chat here.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
Wang coming through and saying, imagine giving the team with the best macro the Nocturne TF. And I think Blab has the right rebuttal to that. They did not win that game because they had the Nocturne TF combo executed to a T. They won because Dario Chopman ran through everyone so badly that suddenly Zed's question about should they bring in Bonkrank didn't seem totally troll anymore. That being said, I still do expect we're going to see Nocturne banned here.
There it is.
BFJ banning it because they don't want to give it up as a first pick. Not shocking there, which that does open up some window here for the big Dirks to ban not Nocturne. They don't have to ban Nocturne here, so we'll see where they go. Keeping things the same first three bans here,
Same
so they
three.
feel very confident.
I wonder if we're going to see the Zach ban here. I know 30's been an amount impactful on it. There it is. So, basically the same bans. I mean, except Nocturne. That's obviously the big change. Jungle's a lot more open now and probably not going to be as much of a focus. I don't know what they're going to first pick here. They got rid of one of the problems, but you can't really stop the problem of Dario Chopman being able to do whatever he does. 30 going to lock in the Volibear again, a pick that he has plenty of games on and has a modicum of impact across those games with that champion.
Yeah, and I think BFJ is fine with that Volibear being first picked. It is 30's comfort pick, but it's not something you need to be afraid of. And it is going to be Ashe taken as a denial pick, despite MF being open. So this is going to be a change of pace here for Briar's feature. It's going to be Ashe Nautilus, so a very, very strong combination there. Can do some similar things. They could actually pick the TF again with this combo if they want to. That's a really good threesome to have on the map.
Yeah, just a lot of lockdown CC. Tree gonna lock in the Milio again. It's something that he's good on. And Dan with the top lane. I have to assume that's top lane Kennen. All right. All right.
Yeah, that says it all. That's a 15-year league that busted out a 15-year-old league champion. I am interested to see as we're going to get Kennen
and Dr. Mundo
Doctor in the top lane here. Presumably in the top lane. I guess there's a non-zero chance that's a jungler. Could be a pivot for Mundo, but very different game than game one already.
Remarkably different. This Kennen is either going to be just the most galaxy brain thing that we've ever seen, or far more likely, it's gonna get rolled over.
The thing that's really interesting about this Kennen pick is what has Big Dirk Energy done in all of their wild and wacky fun adventure victories? It's
team
been
fight.
Dan split pushing.
Also true. Also very true.
Dan split pushing and Respect killing everybody.
Yep.
And if you're playing Kennen, you have to group with your team. You have to execute flanks. And you have to play very differently than we've seen a lot of Dan games. And this is just, the highest pressure game of League of Legends you played in 12 months.
Maybe they're just really relying on the Kennen ult to win them some team fights. But Wang getting his one of his most comfortable carry junglers in Belveth. Other than the Mundo, team comp from BFJ really not deviating from their established script, and BDE kind of doing what they do. Blab did have a good game on the Swain last time. We see the Ziggs picked up. I can't imagine that's for Squeck. I know how he feels about AP bot laners and feels that they are, quote, taking our jobs. And we see the Nyla? I actually don't know how that's pronounced.
Nyla.
All right.
And, I said it. I called it.
There it is.
Pick Twisted Fate. I actually really like it here, assuming we get the lock in here.
Ooh, the Rise is also some spice. And we saw what happened the last time this team gave Thrifty Senpai the Rise. What was he, like 11-0-7?
10-0.
10-0, okay.
10-0-4. An absolute carry job.
My bad. Still, the alts that he had on the Rise were disgusting, gave them so much positioning. And again, BFJ is just set up so well in this situation. Having Dario Chapman playing the best that I've seen him play in the last 3 seasons. You have Thrifty Senpai, who's playing at the top of his game, and apparently has just taken all of the Alex Jones brain pills he can get his hands on, because he is the macro, and this is from talking to some of the players too, but the macro of that team, a lot of that credit goes to Thrifty Senpai.
Yeah, he is definitely the brains of that operation. The Rise is a super good enabler there. Man, I look at this Big Dirk Energy draft. This draft fucking sucks, man.
I don't know what this is.
Honestly think this is a championship losing draft out of Big Dirk Energy. Obviously, there's a lot of room for them to prove me wrong here, but yeah. I just hate to see a team, you're down 0-1 in the finals and just going so far away from the things that got you to this point. This is something we sometimes, across all of SBL history, the solo queuer teams, I have no idea what these guys are playing in solo queue, but like sometimes the solo queuer teams have this tendency to go, oh my God, I've been winning all these games on Nyla in the past couple of weeks. I'm going to pick it in this fucking best of 5 and it's going to catch them off guard and it's going to fucking carry. And I'm a big believer that when you have 6 weeks of regular season evidence of what your team does well and doesn't do well, you mostly want to stick with it. You went 7-2.
Yeah, it was a good regular season.
Why is this such a dramatic difference here as we head into the grand finals here? And this is something we've been saying all season long with Big Dirk Energy. I don't think that their prep is very good. I don't think that their drafts are very good. I don't think they know how to plan very well. And you have to win this game if you're Big Dirk Energy. It's such a tall task to try to come back from 0-2. This is essentially your finals on the line.
Basically. It's pulling off the reverse sweep against BFJ in how good they looked game 1, how good they have looked the last time that these two teams played each other outside of the grand finals, and just how dominant they've ended things and how decisively they have done it. This is an interesting time to really push that envelope and, like you're saying, challenge what they've been able to do thus far.
Yeah, so we'll see here. We do get some insight coming through in the draft. Nyla, apparently very high win rate right now, so we will see. But Respect is like my number 1 pick for overthinks the champion he should pick player in the SBL. So
I could see that.
A lot of the pressure on him here, so we will see what this game is going to look like. Again, Dan coming through with the teleport this game. Not a surprise there. That is a necessity if you're playing the Kennen. Otherwise, a lot of pretty normal summoners across the board here.
Yeah, nothing too unexpected. Yeah, just pretty straightforward. I like that Mundo skin though. That's a dope looking Mundo skin. I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's fairly new.
All right, rearranging some champion stuff a little bit. All right, and we are rearranged. I think I've got everything there. What was it, Control-Shift-Z?
5 ticks with the mouse. As we do see second game in a row here.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Briar's
5.
Beat Juri are going to go for an invade. Opposite side of the map this time. Will they catch out Nyla? No. Respect. Plenty of respect there. A terrible hook out of CRJ Superfan is going to be seen by that ward. Everyone's going to walk away.
I realized that there is an element of this that I did not update and display. There we go. We're going to fix that. We're going to put scores in the score box. We did it.
I thought I saw 0-0 last game, so I assume the tech is there.
Yeah, no, it's there. I forgot to turn it back on. It's all right. I'm figuring this thing out. I can do this professionally.
Hit your bad emoji in the chat for Mitch's bad streaming ability.
Nah. Look, we've made it into every game. We're casting on the same note. Yeah, there's been some overlay complications, but I learned all this shit about an hour and a half ago, so I'll take that. Also, time check. I'm at 131, 132, 133.
We are synced like roommates.
Beautiful.
You know that meme, the Gordon Ramsay, like, I don't have time. This is, you fucking monkeys getting citied. Respect. Wait, why did you keep modeling him?
Nah. You hooked him.
Taylor fucking Belargin, come the fuck on.
It's all about sending a message, Swift. It's all about just letting them know.
Worse than you?
Hey, the message is, hey, I can do this, and maybe it'll matter next time. They're just baiting him. It's all part of the mental.
Pizza level 2. This is absolutely inexcusable.
Look, it didn't matter last game. Maybe they're just convinced it doesn't matter this game either.
They're just Dan with worse PR, actually. They need to also be a bot lane going, EXP doesn't matter. Suck it, Swift. My team wins more games.
I mean, I don't know if you saw them in Twitch chat in between the games, but both of them were basically like, yeah, no, we got carried so hard.
They are actually like the perfect SBL bot lane because they do truly understand like their role on a team.
Yes.
And they're happy to do their job, which may be more importantly.
Darren Chapman getting a little bit aggressive. He has got to be feeling squirrely against this Yordle. Fuck. There was something more clever there. I just didn't have it. I lost it. All right, let's talk about some lore synergy real quick. Does having 2 Yordles on the team, do you get anything from doing that?
Back in the day, I think you used to actually get a buff on your hotbar if you had multiple Yordles. I don't remember how many it was. I don't think it actually did. I think it just called out that you had multiple Yordles.
That's hilarious.
When's the last time we got a Yordle champ? It's been a while. Riot hates the small folks.
Vex? Was Vex
Is Vex
the last?
a Yordle?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right.
Pretty sure.
I think Vex was the first one in a long time.
Yeah. And I think the only reason I know that is because of TFT.
It's out. That's a good point.
My Wang going to be on here in Renai circulation, getting him with the knock-up. Damage from Thrifty Senpai. He's going to get the flash. Wang going in, doesn't get the kill. No summoners burnt on their side, though. Oh, they did burn the ghost from Thrifty Senpai, but for the flash and heal out of Renai circulation, both of which were necessary, and just missing that there.
A nice win for BFJ, but really well played by Renai there. That was not easy to get out of, and he really played that pretty cool. Kept his wits about him, got the jump off the bomb, flashed when he needed to. I thought he was dead.
I absolutely thought he was dead. No, that was really good movement from him. SBL bad boy eating these hooks like he's about to die of starvation, though. Or hooks, axes.
Do starving people eat
Yes.
hooks or axes?
Look, if you're starving, you'll eat whatever you can, okay? Even if it's wood and metal.
I'm watching Delicious in Dungeon right now, so
Okay.
I'm like trying to think like, okay, what could be the nutritional value in like an axe?
Maybe there's some bugs like in the wood, and you're just like num-ing up the bugs, because there's protein in bugs. I'm pretty sure.
Numbing, just like Dario's numbing a lane advantage up here.
Yeah.
As we do see both of the side lanes kind of snowballing in the expected direction here. Funny enough, a better lane phase this game for Respect and Tree than the last game, as they're getting a pretty sizable lead.
I think you pointed it out super well last game. That point after they almost got the kill on Tizzy, and then they could have had an advantage and pressed it. It looked like they went back and bought and just fucked up their own tempo, because Respect is up on every other lane for CS right now, which is where he should have been last game. And Tree roaming up to the top here, being met by SPL Bad Boy in 30, securing the Void Grubs. And Wang looking like he's going to answer, heading towards the Drake on the bottom side. But just looking a little bit calmer from BDE.
Yeah, this team, BDE being a team that is legitimately nervous would not shock me, knowing some of the players involved
Look
here.
at this damage on Dario Chapman.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's got his ult.
Oh, yeah, he's level 6.
He's playing with a cock full of confidence, and deservedly so. He wants to greed his last wave under tower here, as he's got a huge lead. And now, folks, this is time. It's time for a math lesson with math major dropout. AJ has 0 here. This is where Dan will say something like, "Yeah, but I didn't feed." All feeding is a situation where you gave a gold deficit, an EXP deficit, or both over to your opponents. And this is a gold deficit. This is a kill. And some change in favor of the Chop Man as I froze up but unfroze. I was about to shit my pants there.
Oh, thank God. Nothing happened over here. I don't think stream or me was affected, so that's great.
What's up? Can I just time check real quick?
7, 14, 15,
right.
16. You good?
17, 18, 19,
21, 22, 23.
I guess I'm just a second behind you and it won't let me speed up.
Okay. Do you want me to pause and wait for you to catch up?
Yeah, if you want to do a quick stutter pause, just go for it.
All right, we're going to start because you're like 2 seconds. Oh, now I'm oh God.
Oh, same.
Oh no. Oh no. I blame Milio. Don't do this to
no,
we're back.
I'm on froze.
34, 35, 36.
Yes, we're synced.
We're
Brian
synced.
fixed it.
Oh my God! It's actually the spectator client. Maybe no, it's not. It's not. It's just happenstance.
That was actually all a bit. We faked all that, guys. We just wanted to get stream excited. It's like, man, Mitch, do you ever sit here and think like I'm old?
Yeah. No,
I've had a couple of like really offensive jokes I've nearly made tonight, and 10 years ago I would have made them.
You know what? I'm glad you've learned some restraint, especially since you basically do this professionally now, in a manner of speaking.
It's not professionally until I raid the Swain PayPal account without telling anyone.
Ooh,
just
Respect
like
going
Respect
in on
is trying
Tizzy.
to raid Tizzy and CRJ, a super fan here. The defensive hook coming out, but a lot of damage sticking, a lot of summoners being used. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Renai being engaged upon. He does not have the flash available. I do not think he's walking out of it this time. Getting slowly chipped away. They want to get this in its first blood. Ding dong dow onto Renai circulation.
He bought so much time. I don't know how relevant that is, but kind of impressive how much he was able to get away, though. A lot of that is likely due to Wang just holding the trigger and making sure that kill went over to the Thrifty Senpai.
Yeah, I think that was ultimately the deciding thing there. And you could see as they kind of clenched up at the end of that, wondering if they should just give it over to Wang. But I think they made the right place here. Now, Respect is ghosting in here. He's confident he can force a flash here. Can he force more? Good CC coming out of the super fan here. I think this will be a walkout, but a lot of damage sticking onto Chai and Tizzy.
They're really trying to get an advantage down here, and Respect getting himself a sizable CS lead, basically equating the CS lead that Dario Chapman has over Dan in the top lane. Obviously, Tizzy going to get some with it being under tower here, but pushing the advantage that they're trying to get for themselves much better than they were the last game. Do you ever get the do you get the feeling watching this that SPL Bad Boy is only alive because Dan's kind of allowing him to be? Or he gets the Kendon ult, he gets the stun. Dario Chapman so comfy though is just gonna walk away. The stun's there, but Mundo gonna do Mundo things.
Doing everything he could to hold on to that ult for as long as possible, but he knew he would be fine there. Knew that Dan, who only has a Hextech alternator and a Doran's ring to his name, was not gonna burst through his remaining health.
No. Not yet. Oh, the flash out of Respect on Tizzy. Get the knockback. Tizzy taking damage, trying to auto her way out of this. But Respect's going to secure that, get a kill for himself. Meanwhile, My Wang and CRJ Superfan with the roam up here. Thrifty Senpai moving up to meet 30. 30 is going to buy enough time for Renai Circulation to come in with the ult. SPL Bad Boy getting the flash out of here. Dario Chapman healing himself up, going to get the kill. Xmas Tree and Renai Circulation tracking themselves away. The flash coming in, going to miss the knock up on the tree. He's going to get the knock back onto Wang, who's trying to secure another kill for Thrifty Senpai, and is not going to do it. Wang almost dies to Blab and the bouncing bomb, trying to gift that kill over to Thrifty Senpai. A 1-for-1 trade in the long term.
1 for 2 of the feat jury, as that was on such a razor's edge, a weird fight. Oh my god. I think 30 and Bad Boy were the two who went down there. And CRJ Superfan on the other side.
I believe that's correct. Yes.
It was definitely 1 for 2 because I looked at the scoreboard halfway through. I was tracking it for you, but
Yep.
that was a really tense. I really thought Renai was about to have a chance to turn that, but great from Wang playing with the extent of his range there.
Yeah, well done on their part. You take everything that you just got in that exchange.
Yeah, but watch out, 30 has shown up in the bot lane here, and CRJ Superfan may be stepping a little too far forward here. Can they put some damage? Obviously, he is Nautilus is going to be pretty tanky here, but me is not going to be tanky enough. CRJ Superfan going back-to-back on the death screen here, and this could open up a dragon opportunity for Big Dirk.
Yeah, well done. Good roam by 30. Good layering of CC. CRJ Superfan had a great hook onto the wall to try and get himself some space, but Respect is looking pretty slippery on that Nyla and able to get in and honestly making this champ look pretty good. I have no idea if it's good or not. I know nothing about recent changes.
Nyla's apparently the highest win rate champ in the game right now, so that's why he's playing it. And he definitely looks very comfortable on it. And I was just going to say before he got that last kill, this is the snowball factor that Big Dirk Energy needs to get rolling, and now he is a big boy. And Tizzy, what are you doing? Oh, stepping too far forward and is going to die under her tower. I was honestly pretty afraid CRJ Superfan was going to go down there too, but now this snowball is officially rolling in favor of Respect here.
Yeah, really trying to equal out the loss that they have in the top lane. Dan down 51 CS to Dario Chapman. Thrifty Senpai rotating down here, trying to help clear out some waves. Dan hasn't died solo to Dario Chapman yet. And, we'll go on record as saying the CS doesn't matter, and I might have spoken too soon. That's a just huge chunk out onto him. He does have the ult ready to get out, but that tower has so little health, and My Wang is showing himself here. It looks like they're gearing up for the dive. The last minion is going to go down for SPL Bad Boy, trying to dodge the axe, buy himself some time, gets the ult out, tries to get the stun out. My Wang sitting on the tower a little bit too long, but just long enough, gets out. Actually beautiful tower aggro juggling between the two of them. 30 up here trying to answer. I don't think he's going to be able to do enough. 30 really trying to go all around the map and just not farming at the same rate that My Wang is.
How is he level 7?
I haven't been watching him directly, but yeah, that's not good.
The way jungle EXP is right now, it's like impossible to be down multiple levels.
Well,
unless you really fucked everything up.
You've seen it here first, folks.
He was having such a bad game here. But before the dive happened, I actually wanted to call out because this again, speaking to the CS doesn't matter points. Before that dive and the tower, Bad Boy was down more gold than Tizzy was. Yep. So that is the discrepancy of the CS. Now it's even bigger after that exchange. It's a 2,500 gold lead for Dario Chapman. And let me tell you, no one's going to be scared of Tiny Cat. Just like no one's scared of 30 here on this Volibear. Going to take some damage under his tower. I think is going to be in danger of dying here, but they're not going to chase here. Although Thrifty is he's ghosting. He's sticking some damage under Renai here. And this is going to set them up for, it looks like a Rift Herald.
Tim, good on Renai. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but eating that Ash arrow so that it didn't go onto 30. It looks like Thrifty Senpai is just ready to go for blood, and it's not letting them, get comfy and get back in front of it. The ult out from Renai Circulation, though. 30 coming in, going to get the flash stun, and the damage is going to be back there. They're ready to answer this. That kill goes to Renai Circulation. Just as I said, he was sitting there comfortable. Just hangs around too long.
A little too much greed from Thrifty while his jungler was occupied on an objective, while there were members unknown. Just feeling too confident on Rise. Like, Rise, you can gank Rise. It's only mobility is on the DNF keys there. And so that is big because Big Dirk Energy needed to get something going for them. A little bit more going for them here. Now Wang is maybe biting off too much, fails the flash, still gets the dash.
That was another flash out of Renai's circulation, but also the flash out of Wang. Really good roaming response from 30. I mean, that's what 30 is doing, is just kind of being everywhere, but really needs to set himself up in a situation to help himself. Dario Chapman up 2 levels on the bad boy and just chunking him down. This Mundo looks like it's going to be effectively immortal.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to it. I respect, you better keep snowballing. That's actually been huge in the bot lane. Chai and Tizzy have slowed the roll of the Nyla. Have not given up a kill in a while here. I do see, almost everyone's on the bot side of the map here, getting set up for this third dragon of the game here. Good chance we'll see an actual fight breaking out over this.
And soon here, Wang going to the top, clearing out some vision, just trying to sequester them under the turret, let himself move around more freely. 30's on his way back, though. And, man, the Kennen is now down 84 CS.
The big thing, though, both top laners have their teleport available, and Kennen does have the Hextech rocket belts.
True.
And he's not going to be doing a ton of damage, but at least Kennen has the opportunity to make a play if big Briar's feature set up a bad position here. Bad Boy can kind of teleport in, put down a lot of pressure, especially if Chopman's getting kind of chunked out before this fight here. We'll see. 30 is lining up. This looks like it's going to be a fight in the pit here. As 30's the first one to get in. Respect coming on the flank with Tree a little bit behind. As this is maybe not looking good here. As everyone just kind of stacked in this pit. It's going to be a 1 for 2. So a 0 for 2 in favor of the Big Dirks here. 0 for 4.
0 for 4. Harold's in the top lane, though. SPL Bad Boy. And Dario Chapman just continuing to go in. He's going to get this kill. The flash isn't going to do anything. He's going to walk away from this turret. It's what we've been saying that BDE needs to do, and looks like they're trying to do in this game, is just say, all right, we forfeit top lane. What else can we do?
Yeah, and they're getting bailed out by just the magnificence of Respect, who just played so well in that fight, and most importantly, got the kills.
Yes.
6-0-1 now on the Nyla. Gonna have most of the components of a second item here, and can now be in a position to carry some of these fights. Where I did not like the setup from Briar's feet, Juri, and this has been an issue that hasn't come back to bite them much this season because they've just outclassed their opponents a lot of the time. But some of these mid-game fights, they just don't quite set up as well as they do the late-game fights. And now, a game that they, had their foot on the gas for, definitely feels very wide open again.
Yeah, it's competitive at the very least. Dario Chapman, though, 3 levels up on SPL Bad Boy, here to take another tower. SPL Bad Boy trying to do what he can with the Kennen ult, trying to get the stun, trying to burn through. He does manage to clear the wave and buy himself a little bit of a reprieve.
Nyla's here. There's no ult on Mundo, no flash on Mundo. No.
Yeah, she's coming in. She's coming in.
Yeah, great decision from Dario there.
He gets out of there.
Did not want to give that shutdown over to Nyla, which could have been game-breaking.
Absolutely. An influx of, 750 gold onto the Nyla with the shutdown gold? Or 900?
900 would have
900.
Been not pretty.
No, not at all. That's a very easily completing a second item. And Wang coming in, though, trying to get the knock up on the X-Men Tree. He's going to miss. The ult coming in, whiffing. Tree is going to go down. The ult is going to go in on a Wang, but it just doesn't do enough out from Renai's circulation. The ult, though, from 50 Senpai coming to meet them. All 4 of them find themselves in the face of 30. 30 is going to get knocked up and destroyed. He manages to almost ult out, but ultimately falls. And 2 deaths for absolutely nothing from Big Dirk Energy right as Baron is coming up, and they are making their way there immediately.
30's down, and they know Dario can still pressure into this open inhib. Great opportunity playing around the map pressure there. They knew Dario could push into the base, secure them a little extra vision control, a little bit of flank pressure, and that was enough for them to feel justifiably so confident going for that deep rise ult. That's going to set them up for this Baron here and let them kind of grab the control back on this game.
And this is going to be completely uncontested. There's nothing that they could possibly do about it. And now you have Baron minions pushing in against a down tier 1 in the mid lane, no inhib turret in the top lane, and the remnants of a tier 1 in the bot lane.
Yeah, and I think you take the simple play here. I don't think you need to go too hard for the open inhibitor right now. Go collect some of the gold that's sitting on the map. Go get that easy tier 1 in bot lane. Set up like a 1-4 here. Get the pressure around mid and bot. And then, minute 24 seconds, turn it into a dragon. And get the snowball a-rolling for your team. And that is what we're seeing the setup here for Briar's feat, Juri.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Mundo, Dario Chapman making his way to the bot lane. Going to go get that tower very, very easily. And the rest of the team grouped up in mid, ready to push down and try and take this tier 2. Wang clearing out some vision for his team. And BDE just kind of turtled up and trying to do what they can to stop the bleeding on all of their turrets. You got to imagine Dario Chapman's going to be able to solo this tier 2 if gone unanswered. Renai Circulation is aware of that and is going down to do something. But so much damage, and what do you do? What do you do about that?
You honestly probably need to just pick a fight somewhere. I don't think you can wait and let them slow roll this.
No, and Dario Chapman's coming in from behind. He looks like he's going to say that the fight is being picked, and Renai Circulation trying to come in behind him, Resquek trying to answer him. But that Mundo is, like I said before, effectively immortal right now. Looks like they're going to try and go in. Resquek gearing up. Oh my god, the ult from SBL Bad Boy out there, but he is going to be stunned mid-ult, not going to be able to do anything. Resquek getting healing from Tree, trying to back up and buy himself some time. Wang is going to be there to answer him, though. Tizzy is going to get the kill onto 30 while he's trying to get some CC in the back. Wang once again getting another kill onto SBL Bad Boy under the tower. Dario Chapman, meanwhile, is taking the inhib by himself. The tier 2 in the mid falls, and this inhib turret, and maybe the inhib is going to fall too.
Yeah, this should be a 3 inhibitor sweep here with these death timers, with this wave state here. Beautiful stuff from Briar's feat, Juri. And I really love how Chai played that last fight. If you ask yourself, how can Briar's feat, Juri, fuck up a team fight here? It's easy to imagine a Kennen goes unaccounted for, stuns 3 or 4 people in the middle of a fight. Chai just walks right into the back.
Oh,
says, nah, you're not getting it.
That snipe from Renai onto Tizzy. And the damage is going back out. Dario Chapman needing to flash and burn his ult. He's going to be able to get out of there. A little bit of ticking damage going on to Thrifty Senpai. 30 trying to catch up to them. SBL Bad Boy with the flank, though. Gets the kill onto Thrifty Senpai and is trying to catch up to CRJ Superfan. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But 2 kills. Never mind. The stun is going to go out. Wang is going to hit the knockup. 30 is dashing after him. Wang is flashing the mastery and saying, come get me, motherfucker. Meanwhile,
the second inhibitor turret or Nexus turret, because the first one fell to creeps, and now as everyone's collapsing, can they kill Dario before he just ends here?
Probably
he
not.
Have an ult, but he has 1,000,000 health points, and they are not going to be able to stop him. Dario is not fucking around with this game. Going to go end it all himself, and a shellacking in game 2 again from Briar's feat, Juri.
248 CS to 110.
Oof.
The unreal gold influx that they had from everything that Dario Chapman was doing. He had the second highest damage on the team, but he more than doubled most other player, or almost doubled 2 other players on his team in the amount of gold that he was getting. Absolutely fucking absurd. And compare that to SBL Bad Boy on the other side, more than doubled his gold influx.
Yeah, big stuff from Mad Cow here. I don't know what you have to change up in draft to try to slow this thing down, but he is running wild here. So that is going to be 2-0 here. We were very excited going into this series, but Briar's feature have not been fucking around tonight. And they're going to see if they can close this one out with a dominant 3-0. We'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Going to go take our little water break as usual. Give these players a few more minutes to catch their breath, and we'll be back soon for Game 3.
Talk to you again soon.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the SBL Championship 2024, and we are heading into Game 3 here. And man, Mitch, I'm really thinking. I was bedridden until about 2 p.m. today.
Yeah.
Not in good shape, but was really proud of my ability to get myself put together enough to come in and show up for the SBL finals.
Are you implying?
Ready was for one of these whole ass teams to fail to show up. I have more hearts than Big Dirk energy, and I know there have been questions about the mental and the drafting ability of this team all season long, but to see them just falling apart, it's very disappointing, and I hope they still have some fight left in them. I hope they can go back to doing some of the things that work. I hope some players besides Respect can show up in a big way in some of these games, because I still think there's a potential for a series to happen here.
I agree. What really sucks about this draft and this ban phase. Oh wait, do I have the? Oh Jesus, I have the teams on the wrong side. What really sucks about this bans is BDE chucking bans at Dario Chapman, trying to slow him down, eating 2 bans in game 2, 4 bans in game 1, and it doesn't matter. It literally did not matter because he still dominated both games in 2 different ways, but absolutely dominated both games.
I think that's the change that if I were on the side of Big Dirk Energy, that's the change I would be making. It is inexcusable to get shellacked this badly 2 games in a row and say, no, we have the right 3 bans. Absolute idiocy. And this is why we've criticized the drafts so much. At some point, if I were on this team, I would say 0 bans on Dario, no exceptions.
Right.
Ban a bunch of other stuff. Just change the game up. We have to throw some wild cards in there, make them play different, let ourselves play different. Because what you're doing is not working. And this is one of the biggest flaws a lot of teams have in SBLs. They always assume, like, hey, if we had just executed better, the strategy was right. And, I never want to see season on the line, Jana.
Interesting.
I was really thinking, we were talking about this off stream, I really wanted to see Tree on something with some playmaking ability. That's the one thing I haven't liked about the Milio, is I do think this team, some of these skirmishes, they really just need someone that can go and make something out of nothing. And I really want to see him on one of those tank, the Rakan, the Nautilus, the Leona. And I do not agree with the way this team sees the game.
I think I gotta agree with you. One thing I will point out, though, is that the Janna did eat a ban from Briar's feature in game 1. Maybe they and Tree know something that we don't. What I do know, though, is that Azir is fucking terrifying out of Thrifty Senpai.
Yeah, and this team, they are hard committed to this disengage comp here with the Janna and the Ivern, and Azir is going to love that.
Yeah, just going to slide Emperor's Divides, poke Soldier his way through anything that they try to get out of there. Taking the Ahri away from Renai. I love that he just doesn't... He's gotten to play Vel'Koz once this season, and there's a very good reason that he's only been allowed to play it once.
Well, and especially if you're Briar's feature, like, that's one of the true wildcard carry champions you could give up. There's no reason to.
True. I think I like the Jinx out of Respect. I think I like the more scaling carry that he can do. But at the end of the day, as we saw in the first 2 games, he won the lane both games. He didn't win as well game 1 as he won game 2, but he and Tree won that lane both games. Respect was 6-0-1. He had a 70 whatever CS lead. He had gold leads, and it didn't matter. It doesn't. It really just, if the rest of the map is completely falling apart, nothing being ahead by that amount, and unless you are able to just magically outclass and outperform the entirety of the other team, or they just make some idiotic decisions, you just can't take as good advantage of that. And I really don't think BFJ right now, in the form that they are in, is the team that you're going to be able to do that against.
All right, Knott's the not the pick I was expecting there. Going to be Viego coming through for Wang.
I think he wants to have fun. I think that is a pick that I have seen Wang play that so many times in the middle of the day when he should be working, and he has a good time on Viego.
So going to round things out, it is going to be the Shen coming through for the bad boys. So Vex and Shen here, a lot of disengage ability. Again, these comps not something that traditionally fares super well in the SBL. So I'm really interested to see what the execution is going to look like here for Big Dirk Energy with their season on the line.
I unironically want to see Kale.
I think I do too. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They wanted to get a little extra beef in there if they have Viego in the jungle.
I kind of wanted to just see the utter disrespect from BFJ and to just see some nonsense picks for this game 3. I feel like they are teams. They are a team that could have the confidence that even if they just YOLO lulled this game and lost it, that they could easily get game 4 or 5. But maybe they just want a championship and they don't want to have fun getting there, and I can understand that. They're really gonna Patriots their way through this bullshit, minus the cheating and the old man.
You don't think this team cheats?
No.
The commissioner's literally on their roster.
Ooh, that's a good point. Have
you noticed how they had an easier schedule than any of the other teams in the league?
I did notice that.
You know who writes the schedule?
The commissioner.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Folks, get your tinfoil hats on. Wait, so I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you're reading chat, but part of the reason that Bonkrank isn't able to come in tonight is because his account is banned.
So that actually is a great segue. I brought this up on the server, and I have a feeling people probably thought I was joking. We do legitimately have a rule in the SBL rulebook that if your account is banned, you cannot play in the SBL. We call it the no one gets banned without being a fucking asshole clause. And we think that if you're going to be a part of the SBL, you should strive to not be such a asshole idiot that you get banned. So everyone... There are many players who have been banned in this league over time. Fun fact, I played in a finals once with Dan, I think, had his account banned during the finals.
Nice.
He played in their bench players' accounts. It was everything worked out. We got smoked in the finals. But there's been a lot of players that had account banned at some point or another. Master Splitter literally got his account permabanned.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think that's for very different reasons for what this current ban is for.
I don't know. I just would type their scoreline and I don't know. I don't think that's a ban worthy offense. I don't think there's anything offensive about typing it 0606 over and over. They're 06. It's their score.
For some reason, I have an inkling that's not all that Master Splinter would ever type to get banned. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling.
We'll see. Bonkrank alleges that it's because of score lines, but you don't get banned for having one game with a bad score line. And also in my experience, which is a lot, no one ever either doesn't admit to why they got banned or actually doesn't understand why they got banned. So, Bonkrank, be better. Your team needs you right now. Well, that's actually a great strategy. Duo with Chopman and try to get him banned.
Ooh, there you go. I'm just putting the scores up now. Y'all don't need to see what the dudes look like. I do need to figure out which one of the. Okay, there we go. So apparently, there's a way in OBS to preset and load the scenes without switching the one that you're showing, and yeah, I could not figure out how to do that, so I'm just doing this live. I don't really care. We're in the game. It's going. Chat's coming up. I'm going to rearrange the dudes.
No one set you up with scoreboard assistance. That's the problem. You have to edit the text boxes. That's unlucky.
Yeah, I'm manually editing the text boxes. It's okay. We're here.
All's well that ends well.
We're here. I'm going to Control Shift Z 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Zoomed out for the viewers.
Love to see it.
Are we going to... And quick time check. 32, 33, 34.
1-2-1.
Perfect.
You know what I'm really proud of in this series?
What's that?
For as bad as it's been, we have had 30 champions start the game with items tonight thus far, which is an improvement over the season average.
Yeah, we take those. We take the small victories, and knowing that the players in the SBL do indeed know how the shop works after playing this game for 14 years.
It's some really iconic mistakes. And so we should... Everyone start adding Zed. Tell them we want bad plays of the week to come back, because there were really some highlights this season.
Ooh, yeah, there would have been. That TP that you lost your mind about. That was fun.
I got a guy benched. I felt a little guilty, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. And it sucks too, because Frank is such a nice guy. I love that dude.
And just remember, folks, if we're talking about what a nice guy you are, it's a bit... Whoa, wait a second. You're kidding me.
What?
Look at Tree and Respect.
Lane swap?
You can't do this in 2024. You have like a disadvantage to hitting the tower up there. This is such a huge, we are fucked in the matchup. We have to try something absurd decision. We think we can out-execute. I am shocked they had the balls to go for it.
I did not see that coming. Give me 19 different bingo cards that I write, and I would not have put that on there.
Yeah, and now this is going to really test the decision-making from both of these teams, because you're just introducing... I mean, this is just a situation you are not practiced and prepared for. You are figuring out all of your tactics on the fly in this matchup, and this applies to everyone in the game, really.
Yeah, they are just bullying. maybe that's what the Janna pick was for the express purpose of bullying the shit out of Dario Chapman. Is it gonna work? Who knows? Who knows? Ivern making an early roam down to the bot lane, though. I don't think much is going to happen. He's just going to back in that tri-bush. But Dario Chapman just sitting under tower, just getting just slapped a little bit. And Dan playing super safe. It is actually keeping up in CS with Dario Chapman. They're making it happen, I guess, kind of.
That's the top lane is going all night. Watch out, Viego is in the vicinity of top lane, so I don't think Dario's going to be very diveable. This is something where, if you go back to when lane swaps were like a part of the meta, there was a lot of decision-making here about whether you shove the lane and try to pressure tower, when you should freeze the lane and just be able to zone somebody entirely off of CSing because you're 1v2. A lot of pressure on Tree and Respect to execute. I think much more pressure on them than on Tizzy and Chai.
Oh, absolutely. Tizzy and Chai just play the game as normal, and they can probably bully Dan out of a lot of the CS that he would otherwise get. And Dario Chapman surviving the first bout there, still ahead on CS. Actually, Briar's feature is still up on CS. Tizzy up over Respect, Chapman up over Dan. Granted, wave positioning, blah, blah, blah. But the chompers go down. A lot of damage going on to Respect. The Ghost being burned. He's going to get the slow. Just chasing him down, getting the autos almost gets him there.
Good discipline from Dario. Knew he was not going to die there. Didn't even blow the flash. He's going to be able to teleport back to lane here. And this is where, if I am Respect, you look at Respect freezing the lane. This is what you need to get to if you're in one of these 2v1s. Because if you play this, you can 100% deny your opponent's CS. And then you have to force some sort of skirmish situation to change that. And so this is I want to see if Tree and Respect execute this aggressively at all.
Maybe the decision making was, hey, Dan just can just chill and survive, and just doesn't need to be in a situation where he's running up against the Chopman. And as of this exact moment in time, it seems like it might be working. But
how iconic would it be if after a whole season of the Dan shenanigans, that we have a game where Dan goes even in CS and then loses.
You know what? I don't want that. I want Dan to be up in CS and for their team to just win in like 22 minutes, if for nothing else than to stop the stupid narrative of CS doesn't matter.
All right, so we do see this is another one of the things you need to do if you are the team. We'll hope it's going to fix itself in a second here. Red team, Briar, Juri are going to take the dragon here as we're still fine.
Mine unfroze, but I'm way behind you. So I'm at 36, 37, 38, 39.
Pause for a second.
Okay, 44, 45, 46, 47. Thrifty going to go in on Renai's circulation while we wait for Swift to get caught up. My Wang is going to be here for the gank. Going to force the flash out of Renai. He does survive that. And 30 up here with Exumstree and Respect going on to Dario Chapman. And again, the spectator is going to freeze on me.
Mine also froze 6 minutes here, yeah.
Well, maybe it's just fixing itself again, like we got lucky with last game.
Yeah.
Waiting patiently.
Yeah, it fixed itself pretty quickly last game.
Waiting very patiently. Not like this. This isn't how I want to go out.
This is a little nerve-wracking.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess we can just kind of sit for a short amount of time. I don't know how to troubleshoot this. I don't know what the best next step is. Not gonna lie. I'm just going to try and back up and just kind of run it at it again and just see if it just goes.
I tried that and it's still relocked up.
Yep, right at 6 minutes on the dot. Well, I'm sure some things are happening in the game. There's probably some champions on the rifts. They're probably doing some things. I guess if
we've confirmed it's not Milio.
It's not Milio. That's great. That is phenomenal.
I just got a ping sounds. That was exciting.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you at the time of pause, Jared Chapman had 523 health. And I had 494. So, valuable stats here coming from the absolute best caster crew ever. Let's just take a trip around the map. I see Mel in chat saying Cal is not being allowed into spectate.
I think we're broke.
All right. Well, It had to be potentially the last game of the season that this happened on. Look at how good Braum looks. Look at him with the door and the tattoos and the mustache. Well, folks, yeah, this is how we should watch the game right here. There we go. We can see every lane all at once. We have all the information we ever need.
All right, yeah. I'm talking with Tim right now. I'm going to see if we can get somebody to pause in-game.
And then stream it?
Yeah, because I think that's going to be the only option here.
Okay. I am going to cut this stream then, and we'll keep working on figuring that out. don't go anywhere, I guess. We'll maybe be right back
soon.
Yep. Bye.
All right, welcome back, SBL faithful here.
We're coming back in. All right. So what happened since we last saw everything?
We went from 0-0 to 5-2, so it is currently the big Dirkers up on kills here. We do not have any insight into who has done what. Obviously, this is going to be pretty scuffed here as a one game solution, and we'll see where things go, but it looks like Big Dirk has been able to get things rolling a little bit. You can see they did take the Respect did take that top lane tier 1, but the bot lane tier 1 has not fallen here. So this lane swap ultimately accomplishing what Tree and Respect wanted it to.
Yeah, it looks like Dario Chapman's on the bottom with them now here too, and Thrifty Senpai up in the top lane with Tizzy and CRJ Superfan currently in mid. Respect. They are just bullying this relatively immobile Garen with these Janna tornadoes, and Thrifty Senpai trying to get some damage onto the turret, but going to be answered with a TP from Renai Circulation. We get to see some exciting ward clear out of Xmas Tree. This is the riveting content that all the fans always want.
Hey, I mean, this is, some level of excitement. We get to see a little bit of micro gameplay for a change. I've always kind of romanticized the idea of watching entire games from one player POV. Usually not the Janna, but
hey, we take what we can get. Oh, the Jinx Rocket almost going to get the kill onto Dario Chapman. CRJ Superfan here to help answer, but he's going to eat a tornado and a slow from Tree. Trying to protect the turret as much as he can. Respect and Tree going to get a lot of damage onto this, and they're going to get another plate at least here. God, that kill onto Chapman was so close. You see the teleport coming back in from only what I can assume is Chapman. The all coming up from CRJ Superfan, maybe a little bit premature onto Respect. A quick scoreboard flash from Tree showing us stuff. John's got some kills. And 30 going back towards the middle. Yeah, this is a lot harder. This is a lot harder.
Yeah, all you can really do here is just try to imagine the game from the player's POV, as we do see a fight breaking out in the mid lane that is another one for Warnerino here.
I do love, though, that because we're doing it this way, we get the Janna voice lines, which, he's Stormcaster Meteorologist Janna. I don't remember the fucking name of the skin.
Yeah, Weather Woman Janna.
Weather Woman Janna. I love that we have devolved currently to the point where it's SPL Bad Boy versus Tizzy in the mid lane. What a sequence of events.
It's working for this team here. I mean, you can see Dario is just feeling all this pressure. He's done a good job staying up on EXP, but this is so much tower pressure. Respect and Tree are on the verge of taking this this bot lane tier 1. And that's, one of the big things with lane swaps is being able to trade towers. Briar has not executed that. They have lost both. And now this is going to be a lot of control over to Big Dirk Energy as they try to keep themselves alive here in this series.
I have no idea what the goal difference is, obviously, but I got to imagine it's a lot. It's got to be a lot. That's 2 turrets. Both of the first turret fell while plating was still up. They managed to get 3 plates on the bot lane turret while plating was still up. So just a lot of gold, a lot of map pressure, and it looks like 3 of those kills going on to Respect out of the 6 that the team has. They're ready to go for the dragon here. I kind of hope that we get just as surprised as the players do, but we see the all coming out from 30. Daisy chasing after CRJ Superfan and just barely dodging a tornado and getting the knockup. Dario Chapman's there answering with some damage onto the mid lane tier 1. Rift Herald being summoned by Wang, presumably, in the mid lane. They're just trying to buy themselves some space while they secure this dragon. Meanwhile, Dario Chapman and Thrifty Senpai going down, trying to put some pressure onto the mid lane tier 2.
Yeah, this is really rough.
There
he
is
wants
Wang.
to try and get there and threaten a steal, but he's not quite going to be able to get in. But this is so much pressure in the mid lane. Big Dirk Energy really kind of backed themselves into a corner, feeling like they had to take that dragon, but they end up giving up the 2 towers in the mid lane for it, and that's really huge for Briar's feature as they try to make their way back into this game.
Vex is going to be able to secure the kill onto Thrifty Senpai. I couldn't tell if that rocket was able to do anything. He's just getting himself into position to get the most value out of that ult, even though he had to burn a flash to do so. The Jinx is currently excited. I don't think she got a kill, though. I think just an assist in that one. You traded Drake for 2 turrets. You were up on turrets. Now it's even. I don't think they're too happy with that exchange for BDE.
especially the mid lane where that opens up so much map pressure. Now, if they can take this mid tier 1 back, it'll be a little better, but it does not look like they're quite going to be able to.
Respect in 30 trying to mow down as many minions as they can. Wang is here to prevent it. They look like they are going to be able to secure it. They do secure it. So they're able to answer back a little bit, and not the worst trade now, but still giving up 2 of those is rough. Oh my God, Discord stream hitched for a second. I was about to scream if we were gonna miss out on the game, because another way of us seeing what's happening in the game is going to be ripped away from us.
All is well that ends well, though.
You know what, Swift? When you and I finally get to cash in our Wolf Bucks, maybe we can just buy just set up an in-person streaming thing for all SPL players. I don't know how that would work or how we would get everybody to the same physical location on a regular basis, but maybe we could figure it out.
Woo, Caden. Gonna disappoint your mama with that one. Just not respecting the chop man damage. Now Dario, after a bad start, he is 2-2 on the Garen and is kind of getting rolling here.
Still split pushing, still playing out of his mind. Tizzy gonna respect Flash that slow from Respect. Good on her. Ow. Gonna get fucking whiplash from all these map movements when it's really weird watching the map just flicker back and forth when you're not in control of it, because it just seems disorienting. Probably the best.
You ever watch a Faker stream?
I think I did once, and then due to said disorientation, I stopped doing that.
Yeah, that man, you watch him for a minute, you're like, oh, this is why he's the best player ever.
It's like watching a StarCraft stream, where there's a lot of shit happening, and I couldn't tell you any of it.
Here, a lot of neutral setup here. Nothing too major coming up. We got Baron spawning in a moment, but obviously don't expect either of these teams to be going for that super early here.
Wang showing himself in the river a bit. Tizzy and CRJ Superfan and Thrifty Senpai making their way down mid lane. But Dario Chapman making his way towards that outer top lane turret there that's at about half health. SPL Bad Boy going to answer him with support from Xmas Tree, but Dario Chapman just gonna, just kind of mosey on around. Know that even with being slowed down, he's still in a situation where he could probably 1v1 anything on the map.
Oh, let's find out. Oh my God, that just melts like, wow.
He survived. 17 health.
That is really fortunate. Now on the other side here, we see Shy running for his life. Jinx Rocket is
Respect is excited.
Yeah, 4-0-5 and 0 on the Jinx after that one. This is looking like all of the shenanigans that Big Dirk Energy had kind of set up with this game starting to pay off here. 5-0 on Respect, 4-2 on Renai. And
SPL Bad Boy!
Solo killing!
Let's go!
It's over. We're going to game 4.
Oh my God. Maybe we can get back on the spectator climb for that one.
Yeah, good guys, Briar's feet Juri. Good guys and girl, Briar's feet Juri, for making sure the SPL season doesn't end on a scuff stream like this.
I mean, let's not curse. let's not curse them too much. But
this game's over. There's no way they throw this game.
Have you seen NA League of Legends?
There's no way.
Have you watched?
Zero chance.
Oh no. He's setting it up, folks.
This isn't fucking double lift. This is Respect. All right. As we do see a Baron start here from the feats. He's walking his way towards Bad Boy is here. They get the dragon, but now, they know. I'm surprised they didn't pull off that. This is a very, very slow dragon. Respect.
Oh, that's a big ult coming from Respect.
Yeah, I love this. Oh, Tree, you are the worst Janna I have seen in a while. Oh, man. Terrible decision to go in when they did that. They could have waited a little longer, I think. But now we'll see. This get Vex. I am. This is bad for the blue team.
Do you remember what you just said? What you just said before this?
Could have been wrong. Mitch.
I'm just saying.
Really screwed up the engagement, but they stopped the Baron.
They did stop the Baron. It looked like just kind of as we've kind of come to expect, some good macro decisions coming out from Briar's feat Juri, and just looked a little bit flustered on the response from BDE. And it looks like they're re-engaging.
He's playing with fire. Oh, Jakes, though. That's Viego, too. That might be enough to pull them off. As you see, Bad Boy is in the pit there on the minimap. I think a huge snipe salvo showing up in the finals here. And that may have, I think that did save the Baron here.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dario Chapman going to make his way around the top of the Baron pit and just kind of recede into the darkness. Tree trying to zone off Tizzy and CRJ Superfan from being able to come in and contest this Baron. They're going to go ahead and start it up. Respect SPL Bad Boy frontlining here. Renai Circulation coming along on the side with the Vex flank, getting a lot of kills across the board on this Vex. Looking quite good. Is going to go in on Tizzy and get the solo kill on there. Thrifty Senpai is here. CRJ Superfan is here, but Renai Circulation going to continue to keep them off of it. Woo! 30 is going to be able to secure that. That's a Baron buff for Big Dirk Energy, and a lot of damage going on to the feared and CC'd Braum. That is a spin to win Garen, trying to get himself in the middle of it, but the ult out from 30, and Daisy is going to chase him down. The snare going on to Wang. The Jinx is excited. She's going to have the damage. Vex is going to get the kill, though, and they're ready to go onto this turret. Finally have some minions show up, letting them get some real damage onto this, and pushing down mid lane. Those are just kills that you cannot give away when you're in a situation like this.
No, it's a very, very poor decision-making across the board there, and that was when it looked sketchy for a second. Big Dirk Energy is going to blow their way back into this game here. Baron secured, inhibitor down, and they are now in the driver's seat for this one.
What an absolutely wild situation that I'm glad we got to see at least some of. I'd have been really sad if we didn't get to see any of this, you know?
Yeah, no, that would have been big sad.
All time sad.
And the good news is I bet 10 months from now the spectator issues will be different, so not this.
Yeah, no, I mean it's still going to be issues. It's still going to be trash, but maybe a different flavor of trash.
Do you think anyone at Riot's ever heard of a knock?
No.
Like they should just have, like there should be a team that's just like 24/7 metrics, like running health checks. Like, hey, this number of spectator instances are crashing.
That sounds like it would cost Riot money, and when
they made that really patronizing post on Reddit the other day about how hard software development is by talking about all the things they do that are special that every technology company in the world also has to do. Maybe we should tell them about the things they didn't mention in there, like a knock.
I bet there's a company out there that does knock as a service. Maybe they could give it to Riot.
All right, so this is spent. Can I just say I fucking hate Janna?
Yeah, like you said, walking right up to the Viego is going to spot him out, but a lot of damage coming back from the Viego. He's going to get the ult, knock him back. The fear going on to Thrifty Senpai. Renai Circulation is going to go in. The Emperor's Divide is not going to be enough, and now the full Baroned up team is in the bot lane pushing this tower. Viego's on the other side of this wall, maybe going to pop out. SBL Bad Boy is 1v1ing Dario Chapman in the top lane, and some pot shots coming in from Tizzy and CRJ Superfan trying to defend this, but not going to be enough. This tower is going to fall. This inhibitor is going to fall, and they're just marching their way down this. Well, SBL Bad Boy is off in no man's land. Like you said, the games they win are where he doesn't have to be involved with the team.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors down. I think we are close to saying the G squared here. They're gonna play this slow. Obviously, they want to close this one out, but it's it'd be very hard to mess this one up at this point.
I think I agree. I want to believe. Renai's circulation, though, making this Vex look absolutely
Yeah,
disgusting.
and I wanted to call him out on the second to last fight. Was he made a lot of the big plays off screen to set up the Baron, and now another huge fight from him as they'll hopefully get back in time to defend the space a bit.
And they're pushing in on the inhibitor turret. Renai is there on the Vex.
Wang is stopping some backs here. That's actually been a lot of pressure in the top lane. That's right, not going to be tier 3 pressure. That's the big thing.
He's going to eat he's going to eat the NATO. He's like Dorothy and Toto all rolled into one. Half dog, half idiot.
I guess he does have that dog in him. Oh, yeah, Renai's just getting more kills. Oh. Were you also getting a headphone click there?
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't happen with me.
That was sorry, chat.
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
That's gonna hurt. That hurt my ears.
Now the audio just seems like fucked up on this stream.
I mean, we are restreaming a stream.
Yeah, but like the audio is now like doing a bunch of clipping, at least on my end.
Yeah, no, it was for me too.
It maybe is fixed. No, we're just muting the audio on this tree stream.
All right.
I can't do this. I'm not doing this. Because we're gonna have one more fight and this game's gonna be over, and then we're gonna go back to the in-game spectate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and deafen in there. I actually don't know if that shuts this down or if I need to do. Oh no, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, there's a volume bar.
All right, there we go. It's off. It's off. We'll be all the sounds, all the voices that the stream needs to hear for the rest of the game. As long as that game is lasting, there's damage, fear, CC.
I can do jazz sounds
coming out. The tornado going to go across two of them. SPL Bad Boy taking a lot of turret shots, though, trying to buy himself some time. The Daisy ult is going to eat up a little bit of the turret aggro. They're trying to get some shots onto it. It's going to drop. SPL Bad Boy getting the dash and the taunt onto My Wang, who's going to go incredibly low. Renai circulation into the back line, getting Wang, getting Tizzy, still causing havoc, trying to get Thrifty Senpai back there. Meanwhile, Dario Chapman says, I can 4v1 you. Wait, no, I can't. Respect is going to get that kill. Treat going to just auto this inhibitor to show it who's boss. The Emperor's Divide is not going to buy Thrifty Senpai enough time. And this is game. This is a wonderful turn of events for you BDE fanatics out there. They're going to take it till at least game 4. And I guess we have a series on our hands, folks.
We do have a series. It is not going to end on this scuff stream. Well done, Big Dirk Energy coming back, throwing some haymakers out. Hey, here comes my league client. It's back.
And I am going to cut the stream while we try and figure stuff out on our side. We might be back shortly, or maybe a little bit longer than shortly. But stay tuned for Game 4.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the SBL Championship, where we have a series on our hands after some dramatic tactical fuckery out of Big Dirk Energy. They are finally going to draw their first game win of the series here, coming off of a lane swap that unfortunately we did miss the bulk of, but is obviously the talking point as we head into this fourth game here. It did what BDE needed it to. It got them some chaos in a way that they could capitalize on. And now the question is, what will we see here in this game four? The thing about the lane swap is
the Vex ban.
I like that. I think the Vex was a huge part of those late game team fight wins.
Agreed. And that was really what we needed to see in addition to the lane swap was somebody else other than Respect really popping off, and Blab, Renai Circulation managed to do that game from what we were able to see.
Oh my god, Jana, both the Jana truthers are smiling ear to ear right now. All right, so it's going to be the Zach going through for the first time here for Big Dirk Energy. Or no, sorry, a denial pick here being taken by Wang.
Yeah, that's
away from 30.
That's a Wang Zach.
And I do like this. I like Wang on something with a little more playmaking. It's going to be the Ivern again coming out of 30, so it got them the win last game.
It was getting them wins early in the season, too. It was something that 30 looked fairly comfortable on and like he could be impactful on, and they pick up the Jinx again. They know they're not going to go Jinx Janna, obviously. But where does your mentality sit as a player of like, okay, are they going to lane swap again against us? Obviously, they're going to come into it a little bit more prepared, knowing that it's a possibility.
Yeah, and that's a huge factor because it totally caught BFJ off guard in the last game, and now you're at least talking about some of the tactics, how you'll react to certain things, how you should play. I mean, what do you think Tizzy and Chai were saying at like second number 90 when the creeps hit in bot lane? They were like, what the fuck, Shen? I know those two. They were going, guys, what do we do? They spent the entire game going, guys, what do we do? Should we push? Should we freeze? Should we try to get kills? It was probably very stressful.
It had to have been.
You have, a chance to have learned a bit, talk through some strategy, as well as get some very hotly contested picks here as the Tarek and the Twisted Fate are coming through.
And the Lulu and Enchanter's support for Tree. Another one.
So this is going to be a squishy team here with Lulu and Ivern locked in. So that's could be a pretty big factor here. Dan definitely going to have to go on a tank at this point. He will have a counter pick, presumably will be the last pick of this draft here.
Yeah, you got to think they're saving the counter pick specifically for him. Getting rid of the Ashe and maybe the MF for the last one here and putting Tizzy on something that she's really not comfortable with if they're willing to put the Ashe ban here.
Yeah, and I think the MF would be a good ban. MF Twisted Fate's a nice, easy, high damage combo.
Yep. Curious what bans we're going to see from BFJ. We see the Shen, solid ban. It's a tanky champion that Dan knows how to play, and presumably was having a pretty decent impact with that during the last game.
Yeah, they've now taken away 3 of the champs that were played by BDE in that last game, which I'm always a fan of. Ban the things that beat you. Make them beat you with more things.
And there's the MF, as we were just talking about. I like these bans from BDE. I'm not sure how I feel about the Lulu Ivern with what they've got cooking, but I'm willing to wait and see.
Yeah, I really would want one of those picks to be different. The one thing I'm wondering here with the way this comp is setting up, maybe they'll go for a Galio for the first time, which we've seen Blab play earlier this season, but we haven't seen him play it in a bit. This with the Jinx and the high damage, maybe that's the opportunity, and then you could shift Dan to bringing a little extra damage in the top lane.
Yeah, maybe. I think something happened with Galio in patches that he's significantly worse now. But again, I don't play. I don't follow that.
He's been a mainstay at Blab. Blab, you're in chat. Tell us, you gonna pick Galio?
The Rammus.
What? Okay, so that we're going to u.gg, folks. Tell me what you know about Lane Rammus.
So he didn't get not prepared. I am not prepared for that.
All right, well, I can tell you he does not show up on UGG as a top laner on the default tier list. So let's
The
Let's go
Sivir, the Sivir makes sense for Tizzy's third pick, and honestly, Sivir is still a sees 3 AP picks Ramus blind. Sivir is another pick that Tizzy has managed to have an impact on. We see the Swain. That is going to be a top Swain.
All right, some very different picks coming out this game. By the way, Ramus, very good win rate top lane in Emerald Plus, just over 50%, but a very small sample size.
And the Ari gets through for Renai circulation.
I'm like so shaken up by this top lane Ramus. Like I didn't even think about the fact that he's picking into a bunch of APs. Great decision there from Chopman to pivot on the fly to an AP champ to try to abuse that Ramus more.
Yeah, to really further punish that. Once again, I like the draft of BFJ. They consistently continue to do what works for them. Wang has a flexible jungle pool. Thrifty has a flexible mid pool. Dario has a flexible top pool. And they try to pinch Tizzy out. Maybe the Sivir is going to be slightly less impactful, but I know there are games that I've watched this team play where the Sivir ult has been what has secured them Baron. It's been what has gotten them objectives. It's, it's still
if you
effective.
Go back through the annals of history, there once upon a time, SBL Sivir was what existed before SBL Ziggs and SBL Malphites. I mean, this has been a iconic SBL champion for a very long time here. The big thing I'm looking for in this game is if Respect can snowball, if Respect and Tree can shut Tizzy down, then there's not going to be a lot of physical damage coming out of this team, and they can, pretty safely build MR and be pretty tanky. But if they don't, then obviously this team, it's a lot of champs that like going fast. You got Swain running at you, you got Tarek running at you, you got Zach running at you.
So
hard stuff to deal with.
I'm really curious why the Ramus pick was 4th and why that wasn't just 5th.
They really must have felt like they needed to see all 5 champions before they were comfortable picking Ari. I don't know, because they would have had to counter pick with the mid. Yep. And I can understand that if they were really sold on this Ramus, if whatever trash they've been watching on the Boss stream or what have you. And maybe this was just really, they knew they had to put Dan on a tank. They didn't expect him to draw double bans.
Yeah, I mean, that Shogath has been banned every game. They know it's something that he can just like sit back and chill on. They don't have to worry about the Nasus. We've seen how that's worked out for the team in the past. Yeah, and just kind of defaulting to a tank champ that nobody really thought about. When we do go to the next scene, it is gonna be scuffed, and I'm gonna do what I can to fix it. But there's
don't worry, I'll be here to criticize you the whole time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work through it.
I got it up.
All right, good.
You Mitch, you fit in really well in Batty Smash. You got the pre-Johns nailed down.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. I have all my Johns ready for Smash, ready to go too. Like, I don't play this game. It's not even a real fighting game anyway.
Man, I every week before games, I always get Chipotle for dinner, and I got guac today. I don't normally get guac, and they really only give me like a half of a scoop of guac. And I was just like, by the time I noticed it, I was like, man, I don't want to be an asshole. And I called them out and tell them I want more guac. I'm paying for it. And so, like, I just didn't get enough guac, and it really affected my mental. And so that's why I SD'd twice in game 3.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I had this really weird fart that I didn't know that I could trust, and I thought about it the whole game, and I just couldn't focus.
If you've never shit your pants, have you really played in the Batty League?
I've never played in a Batty League.
Exactly. You shit your pants for nothing, Talkie.
I can't remember the last time I shit my pants. Maybe was
I've never shit my pants, and I've been told that makes me less trustworthy. So I don't know.
Yeah,
take that and we're fast this game.
All right, we are up and going. Do I have those sides right? I do. I have to fix the audio because I muted that before. Give me one moment, please.
All right. Well, this will. Oh, I've also got to fix the audio because I also have League of Legends muted. There we go. All right, we do have for the fourth game in a row here. It's the other team. It's all 5 members of the Big Dirkers. They are waiting to try and catch out and invade, but it is not going to happen this game. Yes, all right. We are getting close to set up here.
All right. Overlays up. That's all up. Yeah, I think we're good. We are currently good. Do a quick time check. 58, 59, 60.
We are 1-1.
All right, perfect. All right, so assuming the spectator client doesn't completely fuck us over again, we might be okay here. Maybe.
Cross some fingers. This is we got a chance here now. A lot of pressure. Obviously, it's a finals. Like every game's a lot of pressure. So excited to see how does Briar's feet Juri respond to taking their first punch in the mouth of the series. Can they come back? And I mean, those first 2 games, those weren't just wins; those were shellackings. And so, it is going to be a 2-way lane swap. We have gone full. I mean, this is old school.
Oh my God!
League of Legends. The bot laners are top laners. The top laners are Rammus and Swain.
Is it 2012?
And so now, I mean, there's so many layers to what could happen next year. I'm Yeah, if anyone's just tuning in for like the first time tonight, this has got to be incredibly jarring.
This isn't my first time tuning in, and I'm watching it and supposed to be talking about it, and it's jarring for me, man.
It's the 2v2 we expected, the 1v1 we expected. Like, this is simple stuff. Tree and
Respect.
I didn't Renai is Jinx.
Wait, what?
Renai circulation on Jinx. Respect is on the Ahri.
What in the actual fuck? I didn't notice that. What is happening?
No, they didn't do that last game, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they did not do that last game.
No, I don't know.
I mean, this is something that we've talked about with this team a lot, is respect is... Oh!
Tizzy!
No! He's fine.
SPL Bad Boy getting beat the fuck up by this Swain, though.
That was... Play the audio from earlier.
Oh my
it's not a 1-for-1
God.
Here, but that's still a win for Renai and Tree, because they're going to deny a fat wave under that tower. Tizzy's going to be behind on EXP.
30 down here to support SPL Bad Boy and Dario Chopman pushing in on him. Really good movement here, but Bad Boy has to be so careful. Wayne getting the kill on Wayne getting the free kill on the Zac does feel nice, though. Just being able to walk up and just hit the little yordle.
Man, I don't even know where to start. This game is. This is. I can't believe it's game 4 of the finals. We are the most off the rails we have been all season.
This is nuts. This is absurd. I don't know how the teams saw, and now Tree's in the bot lane here with Bad Boy. To try and buy him some space.
Yeah, now, and Tarek, look at Tarek's like, oh, Lulu's there. I guess I'll come too. Both the 80 carries are just having a 1v1 up in the top lane. I mean, this is that's all John ever wanted, but it's Renai who's gonna get it.
This legitimately reminds me of like playing League back in literally 2011, where nobody had any idea what was going on at like the dog shit levels we were all playing at, and just chaos. Respect trading kind of favorably onto Thrifty Senpai here, though still early. SPL Bad Boy finding himself dodging CRJ Superfan with some happy turtle feet. And I haven't even stopped to look at CS. Dario still way up on CS. Renai up on CS on the Jinx. It's something. This is a game.
Makes it to the Void Grubs first. Chai is still in this bot lane in this 2v1 scenario, so this will be Grubs for free, uncontestable.
I feel like Tree is going to thrive a lot better in just the chaos that they're creating, because he just has so much more experience than Chai, right? So he is he is the one that's dictating like where the lanes are going and how he's able to adapt. And we see Chai just kind of like not aimlessly, but yet still just kind of walking around and not really where you want him to be.
About how some of the training he's done for this season to really improve the game. He's very much a playbook kind of player. He knows certain situations. He knows what he should do in those situations. I imagine he is very fucking lost right now.
I don't blame him. I'm lost. I can see both the teams, and I have no idea what's happening.
But it is the right play there. So Wang and the Wangettes going to take Dragon there. So Dragon for Void Grub's changed. We do see Simmer recall. Rammus is in the top lane. Maybe they're going to crash this tower bot, and then send Dario up to the top lane. That's rough, buddy, in the top lane CS.
Yeah, it's still down 25 CS. I mean, we do see a 14 CS lead for Renai over Tizzy, and a minor difference between Respect and Thrifty. I legitimately have to keep looking at player tags to not accidentally say the wrong name in basically everything I'm saying. This is infuriating.
Well, after enough time, we've ended up with the right champions in the right lanes, and the CS deficits are exactly what we would predict them to be.
But not the right players.
That's only one weird thing I got to keep track of now. That's pretty easy. And Wang is in yeet range here. Look, the super fan's taking a lot of damage. 30's in the neighborhood as well.
Yeah, Tree just having some disgusting amount of poke on this.
TF is showing up in the top lane. He's got a gold card. Rammus has Ghost of Pops, but this champion does not have a flash. He is going to get chunked out here. That cloth armor, that's Bramble Vest is not going to. Man, that really took some time. I expect them to die a lot faster. That Bramble Vest.
Ooh, Respect landing the charm though.
But beautiful play here. Wang going to go for this again. It's still a 4v3 in favor of the big Dirkers as Wang's getting chunked out here. He's obviously Zach, so not under a ton of pressure here. But this is going to be diveable, and I think they need to just completely back off this one. They can't afford to lose their lives here.
No, and they're just going to get some quick plate gold. Wang's gearing up like he's ready to jump in. He's got both of them knocked up. 30 and Tree are taking damage. They are going to drop. CRJ Superfan is going to get the kill. Tree is not able to get out in time. The ult from Thrifty Senpai is going to be able to secure them. And that looked absolutely perfectly calculated from Briar's feet, Juri.
I think Thrifty ulted into a bush, and I didn't see the animation. There's a decent chance that Big Dirk Energy didn't see it as well, and he shows up, turns that from a bad fight to a great fight, and now it is 4-1 kills in favor of Briar's feet, Juri.
Unbelievable. You saw Wang gearing up for the jump, and you have to think that was a result of Thrifty saying, we're going in. Go now. He's ready to jump again, though. Renai circulation looking like he might be able to clean this one up, just trying to lock him down, not let him get anywhere. And he is going to pop the passive, but ultimately, hopefully, 30 gives this kill over to Renai and doesn't take it. And he does.
What the fuck were you doing?
I don't know.
Did you see where your mid laner was? Your mid laner was under his tower. Do you know where your bot lane was? In your fucking fountain, talking to Doran, buying potions and item components. That's like really basic stuff. Wang feeling himself a little too much after that last fight. And that's the kind of play they don't need right now. They were just starting to get a little momentum. And that is going to lose some of it.
Yeah.
They're going to kill over to the man who is going to want to carry this game. Now watch this top lane here. Dario, very diveable. But Thrifty and Wang are on their way here.
Yeah, Respect sniffing that out. He's going to try and get his way out. Thrifty going to answer him, though. Getting the yellow card ready, but the charm lands at the same time. Wang going and getting the knockup, though. Tree going down to answer. 30's around the wing. He's going to try and do something. The Rammus is gearing up. He's trying to charge in. I don't think he wants that, though. The ult coming from Renai circulation, kind of chunking them. But Tizzy and CRJ Superfan on the bot lane here, trying to secure the first tower of the game, getting themselves a few plates. And ultimately, it went pretty well for Briar's feet, Juri.
Yeah, you're fine with that. You nearly got a third plate bot, which is going to equalize some of that gold deficit. You didn't give up anything too major on that top side. Good on them not to give up any kills in the 4v3 because it looked like they were about to. But they're playing with the right amount of risk.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really, though, a very slowed down game. I mean, we're at 6 kills collectively, a 1.5K gold diff at about 11 minutes. My Wang going in though on 30 and SBL Bad Boy trying to take these Void Grubs.
Oh, no.
He is full health. SBL Bad Boy getting taunted, getting knocked, getting ulted, and 30 is going to drop as well. An easy double kill pickup for Dario Chapman on the Swain, and that is...
Just like Romeo and Juliet, this story ends with the lovers dying together. 0-2 apiece for 30 and Dan. Oh, man, that was just not respecting map state. They're really wanting to force an objective to feel like they were impacting the game. And that's the kind of thing that's going to, again, get some momentum going the other way, which they don't need now. Renai and Respect. Oh, speaking of the devil,
Respect is down here.
For a dive, but a teleport coming out of Thrifty Senpai. And now this is, Respect has to ult defensively here, but Wang is in the vicinity, so is 30. This could be a 4v4 as these teams are trying to set up for Dragon here.
Notably, the Taric ult did get used there. Not going to be up for if there's a fight that's coming here. Dario Chapman and SPL Bad Boy just kind of looking at each other menacingly, but Dario's look much more menacing than SPL Bad Boys.
Chapman can teleport. Dan can't for a few seconds longer, but I think he probably wants to stay in this 1v1. He's got the 2-level advantage. I mean, look at this. Why? He's got multiple armor items.
Yeah, I'm confused. Wang jumping in on Respect with the Fancy Feast trying to get out of there, but the Polymorph onto CRJ Superfan who needs to flash to get away from it. Thrifty Senpai getting hit by the Charm. He's getting hit by the Chompers. Renai Circulation trying to shut him down. Meanwhile, Dario Chapman soloing in the top lane here. Daisy is going in, but Wang is going back. Wang is going to get charmed. Damage onto Wang. His passive is down. If he dies here, he is going to die, and that is on to Respect. Just a really questionable re-engage from the Zac there.
I'm wondering if Wang was trying to dive in to body block the Jinx ults because he was worried about losing his team there. Maybe giving him a little too much credit there. I'm not going to give Dan any credit. Yes, I am. Look at the outplay City. Beautiful M2.
Oh, that Charm, the root going to land on the Tizzy. A lot of CC going on to her. She's going to walk out of it. Massive damage coming back out of Thrifty Senpai who ulted back to lane. And Dario Chapman gonna maybe not quite get the tower. He's gonna get it. Oh! Oh, and he dies! What a greedy piece of shit! He had to wait literally 5 seconds! Literally!
I wish we were on camera right now so you all could see the face. I'm still hard stuck making. Someone clip that.
I mean, at least Thrifty goes up and secures it.
But they're funneling the gold through the better carry. I see what
they are. It's a long-term plan.
All right, so it is just over 3K is the gold lead here. Biggest thing, really, this Rammus just is a long, long way away from becoming a champion.
You know, I almost want it to work out for him just because I want to understand what the thought process is. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. We see Wang going in here, though. He's going to flash. He's going to get the knock-up on the 30. Dario Chapman coming from the flank on the bot side. He's got the ult coming in. Respect is able to get out, though. The ult coming down from CRJ Superfan, but a knock-up going onto all of them. The teleport coming in from SBL Bad Boy. Respect is going to take too much damage and likely is going to go down here. Wang is super low, though. Renai Circulation sitting on the top side. They have peeled pretty well for him, but Dario Chapman getting him with the grasp, pulling him in, trying to buy himself some space. But Tizzy going to come in here, secure the kill on SBL Bad Boy, secure the kill onto Renai Circulation, and Dario Chapman getting another kill.
That was essentially a 5v4 in favor of Big Dirk Energy, and they lost it anyways. The first 15 seconds of that fight, they had the man advantage there, while Tizzy was running from the bot lane, and honestly pretty late to do so, and it didn't matter because they just executed that skirmish so poorly. And now
Tree.
Why not give up one more here? And this game is starting to look a lot like the first two of the series. Brittany's going to get a tower during all this as well. And now, man, this pressure is going to start becoming unsurmountable real soon here.
The positioning from from Briar's feature. He's just so much better in that situation. Dario Chapman having a perfect flank there, coming out of the bot side of River, and just able to walk that Swain ult into basically everybody, and just you could just see them. They are just getting outmoved across the map. That yellow card is going to stop maybe the only thing the Rammus is good for. And you mentioned that they were 5v4 in that previous fight. I would make the argument that they're 4v5 for the whole game with what that Rammus is doing right now. Maybe 4v6, to be honest with you.
I can't believe you'd say that. He has an all magic mantle.
Oh, he gets the taunt, and Thrifty is maybe still going to get away from this one. He gets the yellow card and the stun. Renai Circulation taking too much, and even with the ult, the taunt, and everything they were able to do, they get nothing. And Thrifty burned nothing to get out of that.
Yeah, you could just see that Briar's feature, they're so comfortable playing with the margins of their advantage right now, not worried about blowing summoners early, taking this, one step at a time here, accruing advantages.
The Rammus coming in though. Resquek going in on Tizzy. He's going to get the charm, going to get some damage back onto them. But the all coming in from TF, the all coming out from the Daisy as well. The rocket going in, going to hit CRJ Superfan, not get a whole lot. The teleport though, coming in from Dario Chapman. SBL Bad Boy is going to drop very quickly here. He's going to go down. Okay, all right. He did go down a little slower than I thought, but ultimately Dario Chapman still walks in, presses alt. Thrifty Senpai getting the stun, getting the yellow card. Renai Circulation not able to do enough. He is going to go dominating. Resquek gets the return kill, though, onto Thrifty. A little bit of shutdown goal going into the pocket of the Ahri, but it's probably still does land the charm, and it's still a scary Swain who's going to just murder you in the face.
Oh, man.
You could see the consideration where Resquek was like, I hit the charm. Do I go? Do I go? What do I do? Fuck!
Yeah, this is rough, man. I don't even, if you're Big Dirk Energy, I don't know what the strategy is here. I mean, you try to stall under turrets for a really long time. They're a long way away from a fourth dragon, especially if
30 got that
second.
30 got that. He's probably going to die for it, but he got it.
Yeah, can his team capitalize on the other side of the map? There is a Shelly getting dropped up top. It's 30. I was finally going to desync the death counter from him and Dan for the first time. As
Shopman just taking Shelly and just running away. Meanwhile, Thrifty Senpai in the bot lane going to be taking a large chunk of that turret's health, maybe the entirety of that turret's health.
Yeah, just there's so much pressure here. I mean,
gone.
This is going to be a 10,000 gold lead at 18 minutes. And if you take away one game where you cheesed and just caught them off guard, Big Dirk Energy just has not showed up in the series across the board.
They just look out of sorts. They just look like they don't have anything figured out that they need to have figured out. There have been individual shining moments, but collectively, as a team, they just haven't been able to come together on this.
Who do you think's more upset right now? The 5 players on Big Dirk Energy who are known to have some tilters on the team?
We got to pause.
Or the Wormbound Crusaders who can't stop reminding the world of Twitch chat that they lost to this team?
Still Big Dirk Energy. And Resquek is having headset issues, which is the reason for the pause. It's apparently connecting and disconnecting.
Bro, you don't need comms. It's over.
I mean, no. Headset was in and out. Couldn't hear the audio cues. We're gonna have to remake the game.
So fun fact, assuming this game finishes in the direction that it's currently headed, this will have been the 4th SPL comeback season. It will be the 4th consecutive season that the Xmas Tree finishes 2nd. As Tree is very fond of telling everybody, he was fortunate enough to win the inaugural SPL 11 years ago, and then has never won an SPL since, despite playing in essentially all of them. And this second place streak, man, this is pretty cursed.
This is super cursed. It's rough for him too, because a lot of the season, he played well. They played well. The bot lane played well. Honestly, Big Dirk Energy played well the majority of the season, but I still think the gap between these two teams and the other two teams in the league was massive. I just think this gap that we're seeing now has only grown over the season as Briar's feet Juri has just gotten more and more comfortable with how their team has worked, how they communicate with each other. And I said it before and I'll say it again. Dario Chapman, Thrifty Senpai are having the season of their lives right now. They are playing out of their minds on every single game.
Well, you have to imagine if you had a player like Thrifty and you paired him with someone like Dario or Master Splitter, like that would just guarantee an SBL win.
I mean, you would think, but the pairing of Thrifty and Dario took 4th last year. I drafted that team. I would know. Actually, it was 4 of these 5 players with Cax instead of Wang took 4th last year, and they are now poised to win. I swear to fucking God, if Spectator bugs out because of coming back from the pause, I am going to shoot something. Come on.
There is a chance that it is repaused and not showing.
It's a pretty low chance. Oh, we're going.
Yes!
All right.
There's a lot of weird jankiness around pause. We're 19, 14, 15,
yep, we are
16. All right. Thank God. This team is about to flap some cheeks, so they deserve to have that recorded on VOD.
Absolutely, they do. 30 with the GLHF in the chat, once again displaying his toxic positivity.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
He cowered it out of the negativity training. That's what this team needed. And we do see a chance to maybe force a fight here.
No.
Although, yeah, Chapman and Shy might be able to 2v3 this.
Chapman can likely 1v3 this. And by 1v3, I mean 1v2.1 because, again, the Rammus is doing nothing against against the Swain. You got to imagine 30 sitting there. Guys, we still got this. We got him right where we want him. It's okay. We scale. We're getting in there. Right. Rammus is going around, though. Ult from 30 going to drop in, but the ult from CRJ Superfan going to make them immune. Daisy trying to get some knockups. It's 4v2. Chai getting a beautiful double stun off of that while he gets time for Tizzy to come up here. That's going to be just a dead everybody. They had their opportunity. The Tarek ult bought them enough time, and that's a quadra kill for Dario Chapman. They see Resquect there. I don't think he's going to give them the opportunity to get the penta.
Yeah, they see Tim already has the lane pushed mid. They have a chance to crack 2 separate lanes here. Going to take that play instead of going for Baron, which I think is the right decision. Get this pressure first. You can easily clean up the Baron after the fact.
Resquect trying to answer, walking right up to Dario Chapman, going to hit the charm on him. The polymorph is going to hit on him, but just not enough damage. SPL Bad Boy trying to go in with the Rammus. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get knocked back. The charm is going to land again on Dario Chapman, who's going to pop the ult and just look to 30 and Xmas Tree to get himself some life. Resquect having to flash away from Thrifty Senpai, who's going to hit the yellow card on the Xmas Tree. SPL Bad Boy running away from the fight, which might honestly do more than trying to get into the fight. He's going to get hit with the yellow card. He's going to get rooted. He's going to die. The inhibitor is shortly to follow, and the Renai Circulation or Resquect being the last ones alive, I don't think they're even going to bother with Baron. I think they're just going to walk this in, and I want to see you guys do it without Baron. They're gonna play smart. I'm upset. Play smart. I'm so upset.
With Death Timers, this is what I would expect, especially if they're all sitting on gold. They want to see if they can crack this 3rd inhibitor.
I wanted them to set a new record for the series. they could have won in shorter time than any of the previous games. I love the congrats already coming out in Twitch chat. 13.
I mean, this would be the throw of throws. This
would be a. This would probably be like the 2nd or 3rd worst throw I've ever seen in any video game ever. I think number 1 and number 2 are both C9 in 2 different games.
Yeah, this would be some real 28-3 shit if they managed to lose this game. And I got a feeling
that's a good call.
I got a feeling that they won't here. They're setting up for this dragon here. That might be playing this a little too passively. I honestly think they could just grab this game by the balls. But I don't blame them. They're not really losing much time here to take this dragon. It was on tempo enough here.
They are
just a dominant win here from Briar's feet, Juri, assuming they hold on to this one. And I'm impressed. This team understands how to play to their strengths, but also in a way that covers kind of the bases you need as a team here. But one thing I really like about this team, every game they have so many champions that can make plays, and that's what really strikes me about this Big Dirk Energy team. Who are the playmakers on this team? It's just Juri and maybe the Rammus. And the Rammus is so far behind. They have the jump here, and it's not going to matter.
No.
Look at all this damage coming out of Wang, out of Dario, out of the Super Fan, out of Tizzy. Well, Tizzy's going to die because she's bad, but no.
No.
There she goes.
Oh, there she goes. Tree getting the kill.
1 for 2, but I don't think this is over here. Zach on the chase. Tarek, Chopman on the chase. As Thrifty's, by the way, just going to go solo ends. They might just be in stop backs territory here, because if we cut over, Tim is crashing supers from all 3 waves. 30's here to stop him. I don't know if he's enough. 0 and 7 on this Ivern. Not a very scary champ, as the teammates are coming towards with 3 waves of supers and only 1 Nexus turret. They can be pretty confident this is going to be an easy execution. And Chopman showed up to make it happen.
Wow, he just disappeared.
Elite 30, who's supposed to be the tanky champion, and what a murder of a championship after all of the hype. Briar's feet, Juri, they know who they are so much better than Big Dirk Energy, and they are, for the love of God, going to win the SPL championship.
Well done, boys. And Tizzy.
14-1 on the Swain.
Unbelievable. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's give you guys a quick shot of the post-game stuff. 28K.
That's gotta hurt if you're Big Dirk Energy, man. But enough about them. They get their eulogy off stream. Really just awesome play all season long from Big Dirk Energy. Obviously the best they played all season tonight, Briar's feature.
Yeah.
Both these teams started with the B. It's honestly fucked me up all
It's
long.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's
not good. I'm not good. But Briar's feet, Juri, are good. And like I said, I love that they understand how to play to their strengths. They understand how to pick comps that work well in the SBL, and really just across the board. Everyone played so well. Obviously, Thrifty and Dario is such an awesome 1-2 punch. Thrifty's been good every season of the comeback. I mean, every season of the SBL. Dario is back in a big way here, looking like the scariest player in the SBL again. And Wang is just the perfect complementary player around those two. And Chai and Tizzy played a lot better than they needed to. This team could have won a lot of games, and those two could have been worse.
Absolutely. And honestly, they probably could have won a lot of games, and had Thrifty had a mediocre string of games, if Jared Chopman had a mediocre string of games, they likely would have still won, still dominated basically everything.
And it's so impressive when this team, 4 of these 5 players were together and got last place last season.
Yep.
And obviously Wang is a better jungler than Cax, but he is not the difference between last place and no hope versus what we saw in this series tonight. And it just shows all of these, there's so much leveling up across the board by these players. Super, super impressive stuff here. Honestly, the best compliment I can give them is they just smoked BDE so hard they don't even need to talk shit after.
Yeah, this isn't even none of the games they won were close. All of them were under 27 minutes. And at no point in any of those games did it ever, once Briar's feature got the lead, it never seemed like there was any chance of them losing it. No legitimate chance, at least. One thing I do want to give Big Dirk Energy credit for, though, is, we talked about the first 2 games about how they kind of did the same thing and it didn't work, and then it didn't work again. They switched it up game 3. They managed to get a win. And then this game, even though it didn't work out, they were willing to pull everything out of left field, try to find something else, including swapping Resquect and Renai just to trip them up a little bit more, trying a lane swap again. And they weren't going to go down doing the exact same thing that lost them games 1 and 2. Though you mentioned it earlier tonight, I would be curious if what this would look like if they had kind of stuck with a lot of the stuff that worked super well for them throughout the season.
Yeah, and to me, that's going to be, if I were on Big Dirk Energy, that's the thing that would sting the most, is after the fact to think about some of the things you did today that were not the same things you did when you were successful, and just wonder, like, hey, would we have had a chance if we had done different things with the drafts? And you'll never get to know. It's over, and that's you only get so many chances to win an SBL, and I really do think they handicapped themselves in such a big way with these drafts that it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see. But that's been a problem this team's had all season. They weird champ in the draft, and like we've said with EFJ over and over, they know how to draft, and that's not easy to do in the SPL. So very, very well deserved here. I don't know if there's much more to say.
I don't think there is. I don't see a world where this team exists again next season. I don't see a world where it's Thrifty and Dario, and I think Tizzy and Chai stock is up over the course of the season. They played so much better than they did last year. You can count the amount of games where they actively lost a bot on maybe one hand, tops. And even earlier, when the game 1 of tonight, when Tizzy almost died level 1, was down 2 levels, she still ended with a respectable scoreline. Granted, again, a lot of that is because of the position the rest of the team set them up to be. But that same situation played back last year with the same exact bot lane against a lot of the same exact opponents. That game would have completely snowballed out of control for the other team, and they didn't let that happen. They have improved so much.
Amen to that. All right, folks. I don't think we got anything left to add here.
Nope.
Congratulations, Briar's feat Juri. One of the worst names for a champion team in SBL history. And thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who watched. We had good viewers all night, mid-30s all night, which was cool. You want more Baddy content? Baddy Guilty Gear? Gonna have signups starting sometime in the next week, so keep an eye out for that. We got details coming soon, TM, but it's actually happening, actually legitimately 100% happening. We'll have those details soon. Baddy Smash coming back in a few months. Charity League a few months after that. SBL 2025 probably coming back after that. If you have any complaints, keep them to yourselves. Thanks for your good season, y'all.
See ya.